On day 1, I spawned into the red desert as Diamond Venom, the symbiote with major swag. Whoa, and I've started with 20 hearts? That must be because of my diamond heart skin. Even though I'm a baby Venom, I'm one tough baby. But I didn't get to enjoy all this for long. Before I knew it, a bunch of heavily armored royal guards were running towards me.
Yeah, he looks like one of the escapees. We need to get him back into containment before Agent Horace finds out he's here.
Escapees? But I didn't escape. I'm Zozo, and I just spawned here.
Oh, we've heard that one before, bub. Come with us, you sparkly symbiote. We'll be forced to use extreme, force.
I really didn't want to get into a fight straight away, especially over a misunderstanding, so I ran as fast as my little Diamond Venom legs would carry me. Uh-oh, it looks like I might not be fast enough. As I was running, I suddenly noticed that more royal guards had me backed up into a corner. Symbiotes are powerful, but as just a baby and without any weapons, there was no way I could take all these guys on. Can't we just talk this out? I promise I won't misbehave. I think this is a huge misunderstanding.
Don't worry, kid. We'll talk it out when we have you back in containment. Come along now. We don't want to hurt you if we don't have to.
And with that, the gang of royal guards led me off to who knows where. This isn't turning out to be a very successful first day. On day 2, the royal guards escorted me into what looked like a kind of small secret research lab in the middle of the desert.
Welcome to Area 52, son. This is where we keep all the secret things for research and testing, and that includes you.
But I don't even know what you guys think I did.
That's for us to know, and you to probably never find out. Now get in this cell over here. We'll check your paperwork and deal with you later.
They made me go into a cell where a huge, kind of intimidating redstone golem was waiting for me.
Oh, shiny. What are you in for, Mac?
Honestly, I don't even know. I feel like the right to a fair trial should have been given to us. They can't just lock us away like this.
You're here to that, buddy. I'm Robbie the redstone golem. You?
I'm Zozo, and don't worry, Robbie. I'm gonna bust both of us out of here.
But how?
You see, one of the powers of the symbiote is super strength. Watch! With my powerful diamond fists, I busted down the wall of the cell leading to the outside. And before any of the royal guards could even notice, Robbie and I escaped out into the desert.
That was amazing, Zozo. We should probably go our separate ways now, so that those goons can't catch us, but I hope we run into each other again.
Same here, Robbie. Happy travels! And with that, we both ran off in different directions. On day 3, I ran further into the desert, trying to put as much distance between myself and Area 52 as possible. I never want to have to go back there, if I can avoid it. But as I was running away, my Diamond Venom stomach started to rumble. Oh no, this isn't good. Symbiotes are meat eaters, so I need to get my hands on some good protein as soon as possible. Lucky for me, there were some desert chickens waiting around, and they just looked too delicious for me to resist. I attacked them until I was left with some yummy raw chicken on my hands, which I ate with gusto. That's finger-licking good. My hunger sated, I kept on walking until I ran into another lone figure in the desert. It was a warden.
Hello there, Zozo.
Wait, how do you know my name?
I know a lot of things. Perks of the job. I'm Agent Warden. Nice to meet you.
Agent? Oh no, you're with Area 52. You're gonna try to capture me.
I used to be with them, but now I've gone rogue. Believe me, Zozo, we're on the same team. Come with me. I'll tell you everything you want to know.
That was an offer too good to refuse, so I followed Agent Warden through the desert. From day 4 to day 5, we arrived in an isolated base in the middle of the Black Forest, so deep and dark that nobody would ever find it unless they knew what they were looking for.
Welcome to my secret base, Zozo. And I do mean secret. If you tell anyone about this, I'll be forced to destroy you.
Noted. Jeez, this guy is intense.
I heard that.
No, you didn't. When we were inside, Agent Warden started telling me the whole horrible truth about what people were up to at Area 52.
You were lucky to escape with your life, Zozo. They're monstrous people. They capture and experiment on everyone who's different, trying to take their special powers and use them for their own gain. I used to be part of their whole organization until I decided enough was enough. I needed to take them down, and over the next 100 days, you can help me take them down.
After what they did to me and Robbie, I'm happy to lend a hand in taking these bad guys down.
That's the spirit. But we can't be seen together, Zozo. If we are, there's too much of a risk we'll both get taken out. Take this stone sword, axe, and stone pickaxe. Go make your own secret base. We'll talk again soon.
My instructions were clear. I took the sword, axe, and pickaxe and left, going deep into the Black Forest. I cut down some trees to make a clearing and mined some stone. Then I started building myself a basic base to spend the night, adding a nice furnished room and a bed to make myself feel safe from the mobs at night. I stood back to appreciate my small and proud base, and I was really pleased with my work. But then, I heard some royal guards coming towards the forest.
There's that diamond venom! Get him!
Stay away from my base, guys, or you're gonna find out that I'm really a lethal protector. They didn't listen. Instead, they charged in, and I used my super strength to beat the living stuffing out of them. That's what you get for messing with the diamond symbiote. And giving those royal guards a beatdown also gave me enough XP to level up, becoming bigger, stronger, and amazingly, having 50 hearts. And it looks like I can use my super strong symbiote arms to climb walls. I climbed the walls of my little base and sat on the roof, admiring the beautiful scenery of the Black Forest. From day 6 to day 8, I continued working on my base, adding some couches and bookshelves to my living area. When I took a break, none other than Robbie the Redstone Golem came walking through the forest, right next to my base. I was happy to see him again. Robbie, I'm so happy to see you again. How are things going with you?
Sadly, not good, man. I've been looking for a place to crash, but 2 of the villages I've tried to visit were already destroyed by the time I turned up.
Destroyed? That's terrible.
You said it, man. Something awful is going on out here. You need to stay safe. I'm gonna keep moving, and you should keep your eyes peeled.
Stay safe out there, Robbie. Robbie left, and I was feeling more confused and afraid than ever. I needed to go and speak to Agent Warden as soon as possible. I ran to a secret base and told him everything that Robbie had told me.
Then it seems the situation is already graver than I first thought. I have a few classified missions I need to perform myself, but in the meantime, head to the Sierra Valley and scope it out for any unusual activity. Together, we can stop the worst of this insidious plan before it even starts.
Yes, sir. I'll do whatever I need to.
That's a great attitude, Zozo. Do everything I say, and you'll go far.
From day 9 to day 10, I did exactly what Agent Warden said and made my way out to the Sierra Valley to investigate. I just needed to find out if anything unusual was happening out here. Doesn't look like anything weird is happening out here. Oh, other than that. As it turned out, I hadn't noticed the huge armored piglin running towards me. Yeah, that's certainly pretty unusual. I began to battle the zombified armored piglin, but he was way tougher than the royal guards. Even with all my hearts and my diamond hard skin, he still had me on the ropes. Until suddenly, an armored pillager ran in and shot the zombified armored piglin with a bow and arrow. The second the arrow hit the creature, it seemingly got a lot weaker, and one more strike from my stone sword was enough to defeat it. That was awesome! You really saved my life there. Thank you, armored pillager.
Don't mention it. I've never seen anyone like you. You really can fight. I've got a gang of sellswords who operate out here in the valley. We could use someone like you if you wanted to sign up. It'd be good work and good pay.
It definitely sounds tempting, but I can't right now. I'm sorry. I'm on an incredibly important mission from Agent Warden.
Who?
It doesn't surprise me that you haven't heard of him. He's incredibly secretive. But I'll let him know we had this talk. Thank you again for the help. From day 11 to day 12, I returned to Agent Warden's secret base and told him all about what happened in the Sierra Valley with the piglin and the armored pillager who saved my life. But by the end of the story, Agent Warden didn't seem happy with me.
You even told him my name? You can't do that, Zozo. I thought I told you my mission was top secret. Can you not even follow the most basic of instructions?
I'm so sorry, Agent Warden. I didn't know it would upset you so much. I promise I won't tell anyone else your name. I'll keep your missions top secret.
Good. That's more like it. For your next mission, I need you to go to the Sierra Valley again, the north specifically, and find your way to a research base hidden out there. They're puppets of Area 52, carrying out their evil bidding. If you value your freedom, you'll gather all the information about them you can.
Yes, Agent Warden. I won't let you down this time. But that mission sounded dangerous, so before I could take it on, I needed to upgrade my gear. That's why I ventured down into an abandoned mine in the Black Forest to collect some iron. I mined until I had enough iron ore, which I then smelted into ingots in an abandoned furnace and crafted into a full set of iron armor, an iron sword, iron axe, and iron pickaxe. But it wasn't all easy. I was detected and attacked by a bunch of spiders while I was down there. This is what I get for shining bright like a diamond. It didn't take me long to defeat the spiders with my iron sword. Then it was time to prove myself to Agent Warden once again. From day 13 to day 15, I ventured out through the Sierra Valley until I found what looked like a small research base. It was crawling with scientists. Guess it's time to play detective and ask some tough questions. I snuck in and found one of the researchers alone. I cornered him and used my intimidating diamond venom look to get his undivided attention. Listen here, you're gonna tell me everything you know about your bosses at Area 52, or else!
What? Area 52 aren't our bosses?
Liar! I have it on good authority that you do all their evil bidding, so you better start telling the truth.
I am telling the truth. The only time we ever collaborated was on the Warden project.
Wait, the what project?
I've told you too much already. Just please leave me alone.
Yes, I will. I'm so sorry for bothering you. I left the research base and started heading across the Sierra Valley. Something about all of this was terribly wrong, and I needed to get some answers from Agent Warden immediately. From day 16 to day 19, I made my way through the Black Forest back to Agent Warden's secret base as quickly as possible. But on the way, I ran into Robbie the Redstone Golem again. Robbie, what's wrong this time?
Zozo, I found out some terrifying news, and I needed to tell you as soon as possible. The one who's been destroying whole villages is some kind of genetically enhanced warden, and he lives in this forest.
Genetically enhanced warden? Oh no, no! I've had this all wrong! I need to get back to that research base and warn them! But by the time I'd crossed the Sierra Valley and reached the research base, it was already too late. The research base was in ruins, and who else was standing in the rubble but Agent Warden? I decided to rush in and confront him. Agent Warden, how could you? Why are you doing this? These people aren't under the orders of Area 52 at all!
Oh, Zozo, as naive and small-minded as ever. You really are a diamond venom in the rough, aren't you?
I don't know the full extent of your evil plan, but one thing I do know is that I'm not going to be a part of it, whatever awful thing you want to do.
Be careful, Zozo. If you're not with me, you're against me.
Then I guess I'm against you. You're about to find out just how strong a diamond venom really is.
But Zozo, all symbiotes like you have two weaknesses: fire and sound!
Agent Warden unleashed a hugely powerful sonic boom out of his chest. It was a direct hit on me, and as soon as it connected, I fell unconscious. From day 20 to day 22, I woke up in the ruins of the Sierra Valley research base. Agent Warden was gone, and it looked like there was only one surviving scientist, the same one I'd interrogated earlier.
You there. Zozo, was it? I'm Dr. Hardy. I saw that you tried to defend us against that terrible monster, and even though the destruction he caused was awful, it means a lot to know you're on our side.
I'm still so sorry I couldn't help more, Dr. Hardy. I have no idea why Agent Warden just turned like that, but I have a feeling that if we work together, we can find out why. Want to come stay at my base and team up?
That sounds like an excellent idea, Zozo. I want to get back against this monster any way I can.
Dr. Hardy and I returned to my base, and I began working on a new room for him. It had an area for him to sleep, and an area for him to conduct any scientific experiments he needed to.
Thank you, Zozo. This will do nicely.
From day 23 to day 26, I made a trek back to the Red Desert, where I originally spawned, to see if I missed anything. If I was wrong about Agent Warden, I've got to make sure I pay more attention to things from now on. I carefully looked around and noticed there was an isolager in trouble.
Someone, please! I need a protector!
An armored skeleton was running them down, and it seemed like it would catch them soon. I had to do something. Don't worry, Diamond Venom is here! I jumped into the path of the armored skeleton and hit him with my iron sword. It got his attention, but he wasn't looking that damaged from the attack. I had succeeded at making the armored skeleton attack me instead of the isolager, but now it seemed I would have to deal with a strong and fast mob all on my own. It wasn't an easy fight, but in the end, I took home the W. The isolager was delighted.
That was amazing! We make a good team.
You said it, Isolager. It's almost like a symbiotic relationship. Like a symbiote. Defeating the armored skeleton to save that Isolager had reminded me of my true strength and caused my powers to evolve. I now had 75 hearts and could dash to quickly close the gap with enemies. From day 27 to day 31, I was still in the Red Desert when I came across a herd of sheep. They were looking for grass to eat, but couldn't find any. I guess they must have been lost. This way, sheep, there's plenty of grass to graze on in the Black Forest. Back at the base, I made sure to build a pen for the sheep around some of that delicious grass I mentioned. Delicious for sheep at least. This diamond venom is on an all-meat diet. Later on, I was walking through the base when I ran into the Isolager I had protected in the desert.
Hey, Zozo! Thanks again for your help the other day.
Hey, Isolager, when did you get here?
Oh, I've been here for a while. I noticed you have some scientists doing research here, so I thought I could help out in a big way. Follow me.
I followed the Isolager to another part of the base and saw what he was talking about. He had upgraded the base with a research watchtower. The scientists are gonna love this. Meanwhile, somewhere in a secret place, Agent Warden was plotting the next phase of the Warden Project. And whatever that entailed was probably super evil.
Everything is going according to my super secret plan. That's because you're so good at being evil, Warden. I agree, Pigless. Soon it will be time for you to play your role in how things proceed. It is an honor to serve you, sir. Piglets will make sure your every order is carried out without fail.
From day 32 to day 35, I went to Area 52 to see if I could get any more answers out of the Royal Guards. Even if they didn't know anything else about what Agent Warden was up to, I could still reason with them and form an alliance.
Ah, it's Diamond Venom! There's no reasoning with them. Battle formation!
The Royal Guards fought against me, but I defended myself by using my armor to reduce the damage from their attacks. Hold it, guys. I really think we can work this out.
He's trying to reason with us. I guess we were wrong about him. That's the first time we've been wrong about anything.
The Royal Guards took me to the office of their top agent, Agent Horace.
So, you must be that Diamond Venom that escaped from our holding cell a while back. It's a shame I never got to meet you in person.
Is that because you were going to do some uncalled for experiments on me?
What? No. What do you think we do around here? We thought that a diamond symbiote like you had the potential to be turned towards the side of good. That's why we brought you here.
I'm glad you guys weren't up to anything sinister. You definitely could have been nicer about it, though.
The kinds of superpowered monsters we deal with, it's hard not to go overboard, especially after the Warden Project made us responsible for another monster.
You mean Agent Warden? What is he up to?
I can tell you it's something most secretive and most definitely sinister. We've been keeping tabs on him, but he's operating in the shadows now.
I want to help you take him down. He betrayed me, and I don't like that kind of thing.
Good. We could use a Venom like you on our side. Until Agent Warden is defeated, we'll make you a temporary secret agent.
Agent Diamond Venom. I like the sound of that. From day 36 to day 39, I went mining for iron to fix up my armor. If I'm going to be playing the part of a secret agent, I should look like I've got the best gear. I dug down deep into the mining area and managed to strike iron. There was plenty of iron to go around, enough to fix my entire set of iron armor. There were some diamonds down there as well. I must have had a knack for finding them because I was a Diamond Venom myself. Diamonds are a diamond's best friend. Wait, what did I say? The diamonds weren't even the rarest treasure that I found in the mine. The honor went to the powerful battle axe that I found lodged in a wall. I went above ground with the spoils of my mining excursion and fixed up my armor. I finished just in time for the Isolager to come in and talk to me.
Hey, Zozo!
Actually, it's Agent Zozo.
Right. Anyway, I was thinking we should expand our team. There's someone I want you to go talk to. They should be waiting for you at the Shattered Glacier.
From day 40 to day 43, I went to the Shattered Glacier where the Isolager said I could meet our new contact. I was surprised and relieved to see that it was my old friend Robbie the Redstone Golem.
I heard Area 52 made you a temporary agent. They are no friends of mine, but it's good to see that you're moving up in the world.
Whatever it takes to stop that rampaging Agent Warden. What did you call me here to talk about?
I wanted to ask if I could join your supergroup. Even if we're only working together in secret, this world needs protectors.
I was about to ask him what he had in mind when a giant pigman ran towards us and stopped right next to us. It was Pigless, the new minion that was sent by Agent Warden.
You were too easy to follow, Diamond Venom. Time to carry out Agent Warden's orders.
And what would those be?
There's no point in asking me that question. I'm not telling you.
Piglet smashed a big hole in the ground to show off how strong he was. He's tough, Robbie. Do you think we could take him if we teamed up?
Maybe, but for now, we should get somewhere safe to have the rest of our conversation.
I nodded, and the two of us ran away as Piglet continued to smash his way across the shattered glacier. From day 44 to day 49, I was lying low in my base when I was visited by Agent Horace. He really must have been the top agent because I didn't even see him come in.
Agent Zozo, I've got some key intel and a new assignment for you.
Took you long enough. This Diamond Venom is on the job, whatever it is.
There is an object known as the Destroyer, which was once in our possession at Area 52. We believe that in the right hands, it has the power to take down any bad guy.
Even Agent Warden?
Now, Diamond Venom, just focus on finding the Destroyer and getting it to us. We'll handle the rest.
Where can I find the Destroyer?
It was last sighted in the Sierra Valley biome. You should head back there and search for it.
Won't let you down, Agent Horace. From day 50 to day 53, on Horace's orders, I went to the Sierra Valley biome to learn more about the Destroyer. It looked like I wasn't the only agent on the case. A royal guard was already here, probably sent by Horace too. Hey there, Agent. I'm Agent Zozo. I'm looking for the Destroyer too.
Shh, keep your voice down. We don't know who's listening. I'll tell you what I know about the Destroyer, but you need a promise to keep it a secret.
I promise.
The truth about the Destroyer is that we made it in Area 52 using some rare materials from another dimension. Those materials are what gave the item its unmatched destructive power.
What were the materials, and what dimension did they come from?
That's classified. The point is, we were so impressed by these materials that we started to use them on a different project, the Warden Project.
Let me guess, that was how Agent Warden got his superpowers.
It was what made him a supervillain. The materials gave him destructive sonic abilities that were out of control. That's why we need a weapon like the Destroyer to take him out.
I understand now. You keep looking around here. I'm gonna go back to the base for now. I left the Royal Guard to keep searching. That's when I saw a battle between an Iron Chicken and a skeleton. The Iron Chicken looked like she would make a good addition to the super group I was forming with the others. I went to help her in the fight, but the Iron Chicken had already won by the time I even got a hit in. Whoa, you're strong. Do you want to join my superhero team?
Sorry, Diamond Venom, but Iron Chicken works alone.
She ran off right after saying that. I guess not everyone wants to team up with me. From day 54 to day 57, I was traveling through the Red Desert when I ran into none other than Pigless, Agent Warden's big brute of a henchman. What do you want, Pigless?
I only want what Agent Warden orders me to want. That's how loyal of a henchman I am.
Okay, and what does Agent Warden want?
He ordered me to take out the trash, and the trash is you.
Pigless hit me hard, sending me flying across the desert. His super strength was so much stronger than mine, and I was practically super duper strength. I fought back, but I was losing a lot of hearts to the big pig's punches.
You really are trash. Just call me the trash compactor.
Actually, I prefer to be recycled, and by that I mean live to fight another day. I knew I couldn't win, so I ran away from Pigless. He might have been strong, but sure was slow. While his henchman was keeping me busy, Agent Warden was in his secret base, developing a personal teleporter that would take him between dimensions at will.
Once I harness the true destructive contained in the other dimensions, I will be unstoppable.
From day 58 to day 62, I met with the scientist who's been living in my base to see what he's been up to. How's the research been going, Dr. Hardy?
I've got amazing things to tell you about Zozo. The statue I've been working on is really coming along. It'll be one of the great achievements when we're done building it.
Awesome work!
There is one slight issue though. I've run out of building materials. Do you think you could fetch us more?
Of course, I was just heading down to the mine anyway. I returned to where I had been mining before and dug further into the area with the diamonds. I was determined to get even more of them so I could get a complete set of diamond gear to match my diamond body. I also made sure to get more stone and iron while I was there so the scientists could continue work on the statue. Once I had enough of everything, I left the mine and gave the scientists what they had been looking for. Then I went to the crafting table and made myself a diamond sword, diamond boots, and a diamond helmet. Diamond Venom is more diamond than ever. From day 63 to day 66, I received another visit from Agent Horace. He must really want me to find that destroyer. I looked around like you told me to, but I haven't found it anywhere.
That's all right, Agent Zozo. The Royal Guards and I have done that part of the job ourselves. We have reason to believe that the destroyer somehow crossed dimensions back to where it originally came from.
The destroyer is in another dimension?
Yes, in another world known as the End.
How can I get there from here?
Take a look at this portal we installed in your base.
Agent Horace led me to an incomplete end portal, which at the moment wasn't working. I wonder where they even got this portal, but I didn't want to question Agent Horace. What do I have to do in order to reactivate the end portal?
No idea. We've never gotten any farther than this, but if it does activate, you should let us know post-haste.
From day 67 to day 70, I kept an eye on the end portal that Area 52 had installed in my base. There were no signs of activity, and I wondered if I would ever get the chance to get the destroyer. I was relieved of this duty when Robbie, the redstone golem, showed up again. Hey Robbie, what are you up to?
We've got ourselves a new objective, Zozo. There's some trouble down at the Shattered Glacier, and we should go help out.
What's the problem?
One dangerous mob called the Skeleton Jackal might be a new supervillain.
Leave it to me, Robbie. I arrived at the Shattered Glacier and saw exactly what Robbie was talking about. The Skeleton Jackal had claimed the Shattered Glacier as his own territory.
Diamond Venom, you're too late. I, the Skeleton Jackal, will soon be the most powerful new villain out there.
Sorry, but I already have an arch nemesis, and he's not you.
I'll make you take me seriously.
The Skeleton Jackal attacked me with his claws, but I fought back with my trusty battle axe. We were evenly matched in damage, but my diamond armor and diamond skin made my defenses that much stronger.
You might be durable, Diamond Venom, but this fight isn't over by a long shot.
Stop this! We don't have to fight! What if instead of a villain, you decided to be an anti-hero? You can still be scary, but you also get to do the right thing.
Anti-hero, huh? I guess I could give it a try.
Wow, it worked! Welcome to the team, Skeleton Jackal. From day 71 to day 74, my base was under attack by Pigless, who was using his brute force to smash giant holes into the surrounding terrain.
Piggy power!
Stop it, Pigless! I used my dash ability and started swinging my battle axe at Pigless, inflicting damage on him.
Ouch! That axe hurts! Can I have it?
Pigless punched me, causing me to drop the battle axe. He picked it up himself and started swinging it at me. I equipped my diamond sword and continued to fight, but Pigless was even more deadly with the battle axe in his hand. Give that back, it's not yours.
It is now. Eat this!
Pigless wound up a big punch and sent me careening straight into a hill and caused me to get heavily dazed. When I got back up, he was already gone. It was no use trying to get my battle axe back now. It looked like my base was totally wrecked too. Pigless! I was really sad, so I went to the river to be alone for a bit. After a while, Isolager came by to cheer me up.
Hey, Zozo, I know you're feeling down about losing your weapon, but I've rebuilt the base and added a perimeter wall to keep out future attacks.
You're the best, Isolager. I'm glad you're part of my supergroup. Meanwhile, back at Agent Warden's base, my arch nemesis had gained the powers of the interdimensional energies he was attempting to harness.
Area 52 thought I was a mistake and tried to destroy me. Their real mistake was not going further with their experiments.
From day 75 to day 78, Agent Horace came to check on the base and give me a brand new weapon to replace my battle axe, the Javelin.
We heard what happened with Pigless. It sounds like you've really gotten on Agent Warden's bad side.
That Pigless is a real menace. He's going down, just like Agent Warden.
You're in luck. We've got the location of Agent Warden's secret base. We figured we'd send you over there to do some real damage.
I'll do more than that. This might just be business for Area 52, but it's always personal for me. I took the Javelin and set off through the Black Forest toward Agent Warden's secret base. If Pigless was there, I'd be sure to get my revenge from last time. From day 79 to day 84, I was sneaking around the outside of Agent Warden's secret base, and sure enough, I found exactly who I was looking for, Pigless.
Agent Zozo! Looks like recycling day came early. I'll break you down like a cardboard box.
You're the one who's gonna be broken, Pigless. I threw my javelin at Pigless, catching him off guard, and then I used the opportunity to hit him a bunch of times with my diamond sword.
Not bad. I didn't expect that new weapon. But did you really forget your old weapon so soon?
No, please, Pigless, anything but battle axe! Pigless swung the battle axe that he stole from me, taking off a ton of hearts. He was wielding the weapon as if it was meant for him. Once again, my diamond sword couldn't stand up to him, especially since my super strength was weaker than his.
I really like being a henchman, you know. When I secretly get rid of someone, Agent Warden rewards me with treasure. I wonder how rich I'll be after I deal with you.
Oh no, am I going to lose? As Pigless prepared to deliver the decisive blow with my own battle axe, I heard a voice from the trees. It was the skeleton jackal.
Zozo, don't forget that you're Diamond Venom, a shining inspiration to anti-heroes everywhere.
You're right. Inspired by Skeleton Jackal's words, I grew into a form powerful enough to take on Pigless, even with the battle axe. I had 100 hearts and diamond venom claws that were stronger than any diamond sword. With my new form, he was dropped in no time.
Well, I did the best I could, but sometimes a henchman is just a henchman.
Your boss, Agent Warden, is next, Pigless. And with that, Pigless vanished. From day 85 to day 89, I went back to my base to tell everyone that I had defeated Pigless in battle. I went and visited the scientist first to inquire about the state of the statue.
I've made some amazing strides in the pursuit of the statue, but I'm still missing some materials. Could you grab me some more wood?
Sure, let me grab some from my chest. I took some wood from my chest and brought it back to Dr. Hardy, who then escorted me to the statue. It was a statue of Dr. Hardy halfway through transforming into normal Venom. I guess he must have been a big fan. Afterwards, I returned to the side of the end portal where Agent Horus was waiting for me.
It seems that Agent Warden has already gone to the end to harness the materials there. If the destroyer falls into his hands, he'll be even more unstoppable than a big pigman with a battle axe.
That's pretty specific, but I totally understand what you mean.
These Eyes of Ender that the Royal Guards have gathered should be able to jumpstart the portal. Get in there and make us proud.
Yes, sir. He activated the portal and I stepped through. Suddenly, I found myself in the Nightshade Forest. This must be the main biome of the dimension, known as the End. This is feeling strangely familiar again. Not too far away, I saw the Destroyer lying on the ground. I didn't have time to go and grab it. An Enderman appeared out of the trees and started to attack me. Ugh, I guess I've got to deal with the mob first. I used my diamond sword combined with my claw attacks to make the Enderman back off and run away. With the mob gone, I picked up the Destroyer and headed back towards the portal. From day 90 to day 94, I heard someone sneaking up behind me. It was Agent Warden.
Welcome home, Diamond in the Rough.
This isn't my home. Home is on the other side of this portal, and I intend on going back. After I defeat you, that is.
You won't defeat me, Agent Zozo. You're just like me. The diamond symbiote that grants you all of your powers is from the End. That's why this place is your home.
I'm from the End?
Yes, and that's why I want you on my side. I need someone to help me reap the rewards that exist in this world. The materials that gave me powers could make an army of Sonic warriors.
I'm not joining you. Area 52 trusted me to take you down, and that's what I'll do.
You're making a mistake. Agent Horus and the others are weak, and that's why they capture and create super beings to fight their battles. I think we should choose our own battles, don't you?
I actually agree. That's why I'm choosing my battle to be me versus you. I threw my javelin, but Agent Warden took it like it was nothing and bombarded me with a sonic blast. Even though I'd gotten stronger, sonic attacks were still my weakness. His powers had increased so much that I was powerless against him. Agent Warden hit me with a few melee attacks before knocking me out and stealing the Destroyer.
I'll be having that. See you on the other side, Diamond in the Rough.
He ran off through my end portal. From day 95 to day 97, I was able to muster enough strength to crawl my way to the portal. There's no time to lose. I have to warn Agent Horus. And with that, I crawled into the portal. When I got to the secret research lab of Area 52, I found that all of the Royal Guards had been wiped out by Agent Warden in a destruction spree. This was definitely the Destroyer's handiwork. I kept searching around until I stumbled upon Agent Horace. He was the last one alive and was hanging on by a thread.
You sure kept us waiting, huh?
Agent Horace, I'm sorry. I couldn't stop him. He used my weakness against me.
No, Agent Zozo, I'm sorry. It was our foolishness and greed that led to Agent Warden's rise to power. If only we had been more careful and not tried to turn what we didn't understand into weapons.
You couldn't have known he'd go this evil.
It's alright. Area 52 will be no more after I'm gone. I need you to clean up our last mess, Diamond Venom. Make sure you stop him.
Horace died, trying to harness the forces beyond his control. Now Agent Warden was trying to do the same thing. I'd make sure it didn't end well for him either. On day 98, I found my base had been destroyed in another one of Agent Warden's evil rampages. The scientist, Isolager, and Skeleton Jackal were all destroyed too. Every member of my team, gone. This is unforgivable. I knew Agent Warden was my arch nemesis, but I never thought he'd go this far. I stood there in total shock for a long time until I heard some familiar heavy footsteps. Robbie.
Agent Zozo! No, just Zozo. I'm sorry that I couldn't protect the rest of the team. He was too strong.
Don't beat yourself up about it, Robbie. I feel a bit better knowing that at least my very first friend is still here with me.
You know what? I feel the same way. You're alive, and I'm alive. We've gotta do something to make that count.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We're gonna take back the Destroyer, and then we're gonna give Agent Warden payback for everything he's done!
Now that's the symbiote I know. Let's rock!
On day 99, Robbie and I closed in on Agent Warden's secret base, which hadn't changed location since the time I fought Pigless there.
I'll lure Agent Warden out with a distraction, then you surprise attack him and steal the Destroyer.
Sounds good. Be careful, Robbie. I went to hide behind a tree as Robbie stepped out and waved his arms.
Hey Warden, look at me! I'm so destroyable! Haha, come destroy me!
Sure enough, Agent Warden stepped out of the base with the Destroyer in his hands. He started moving towards Robbie. Now is my chance! I used my dash ability to rush at Agent Warden. Just as planned, I was able to grab the Destroyer and run away. Robbie turned and ran away too.
Haha, I'm not destroyed! Better luck next time!
When we got back to the base, I immediately took a closer look at the Destroyer. It was definitely made with the same materials that made Agent Warden's Sonic Blast so strong. It was also from the end, like my symbiote. Maybe if well, here goes nothing. I absorbed the material in the Destroyer using my symbiote, and I could feel that it was enhancing my diamond skin to a whole new level of durability. It worked! Now my souped up diamond skin will be able to resist his sonic attacks. On day 100, I returned to Agent Warden's secret base for our final showdown. I of course brought Robbie with me. We entered his base and went downstairs. This time, Agent Warden was already waiting for us in his underground lair. This stops here, Agent Warden. You're not destroying anything else in your quest for mad science.
When will you learn, symbiote? My sonic attacks will render you immobile once again!
He fired a sonic blast at me, but I didn't even flinch this time. Because despite its name, the Destroyer had made me indestructible.
How did you do that? I knew your weakness!
It's like you always said, I am a diamond in the rough, and now this diamond is gonna rough you up. I called forth the Destroyer from within my symbiote and attacked using it. The shockwave smashed the surrounding area and did serious damage to Agent Warden.
He's weak. My turn.
Robbie rushed in and smacked him with his golem arms a couple times. I joined in with a diamond claw attack. Agent Warden tried to fight back, but his powers were useless against me now.
Please, no more.
This is for everyone at Area 52 and everyone at my base too.
No, please! All I wanted was to be able to blow up whatever I wanted! I was just acting mysterious to look cool!
Well, now the truth is out, and the truth is, you got what was coming to you. Then, I swung the Destroyer one last time, and he was gone! Leaving me and Robbie to celebrate the fact that the world was safe again. On day 1, I spawned in as Spidey, from Spidey and his amazing friends. I was surrounded by friendly spiders, who were bigger than me. Wow, I'm really small. I must be a baby version of Spidey. But where are my friends? None of the spiders got a chance to tell me because the Green Goblin jumped out from behind a bush.
There you are! Thought you could hide from me with all these spiders? Well, you were wrong, Spidey. Tag, you're it! Ha ha ha!
He threw a pumpkin bomb, and I jumped out of the way just in time. But the other spiders were caught in the explosion. I was the only one who made it out okay. You're rotten, Green Goblin, rotten to the core. What are you doing here?
You're asking the wrong questions, Spidey. You're asking why I'm here, but you should be asking, why isn't Spin here?
Right, Spin, Miles Morales, my friend. Why isn't he here? What did you do with him?
That's for me to know, and you to find out. If you want to get him back, you'll need to come and find me and beat me in a fight. If you can't find my hideout in 100 days, I'll make sure you never see your little buddy again.
He threw another pumpkin bomb and disappeared, leaving me alone with my thoughts. Oh no, that evil villain kidnapped Spin, and I only have 100 days to get him back. If I'm going to fight the Green Goblin and win, I need to get a whole lot stronger first. On day 2, I decided to get out of the plains and into a new location. With all of the spiders gone, I was completely on my own. And there's nothing for me to climb or swing from out here. I need some tall buildings or some trees. So I headed into the forest. I already had 10 hearts. I sure hope I don't run into any trouble out here. I must have jinxed myself because a group of gremlins came out from behind a bunch of trees and started closing in around me. Hey, why are you bothering me? I didn't do anything to you.
You didn't have to. We're here on orders from the Green Goblin. He wanted us to deliver something to you in person. A beatdown.
Uh-oh, I'm not strong enough to take on all of these enemies at once.
Let's get 'em, boys.
The gremlins were getting closer, and I couldn't see anywhere to run. Was this it? Was I already going to lose on my second day?
Hey, pick on someone your own size.
I looked towards the voice, and I saw a rabbit skiing towards the gremlins. He skied right into them, breaking through the circle, and I was able to run away before they could get to me. When I finally stopped running, I noticed the rabbit was right behind me. Thanks for the help.
No problem. I can't stand bullies. My name is Harry.
Hi, Harry. I'm Spidey, but you can call me Zozo. On day 3, Harry the skiing rabbit took me back to his home with him in the underground rabbit burrow. It was really nice of him, especially since I didn't have a base of my own yet. Now I have a safe place to rest for a little while where the Green Goblin wouldn't bother me. Thanks, Harry. This is so nice.
No problem, Zozo. Hey, there's someone I want you to meet. He knows a lot about the Green Goblin, and I think he can help you out.
He took me to the burrow of a Giza rabbit.
Hello! I understand you're going up against the Green Goblin. A nasty fellow.
Don't I know it?
Well, forgive me for saying so, but you won't get far like that. You need some tools, some weapons, and you need to get a whole lot stronger.
I know, but where should I start?
The forest to the north has lots of wood. Go gather some so you can start making tools. You'll need to be well equipped with the strongest tools you can find, as well as an open heart and an adventurous spirit. It takes a hero to defeat a villain, and if you really try, you can become the hero that takes down the Green Goblin once and for all.
That sounded like a whole lot of work, but as I thought about all the spiders the Green Goblin hurt and thought about Spin being held prisoner somewhere, I knew it was worth it. I guess I'd better get right to it then. First things first, I need to go gather that wood.
You'd better go with him, Harry. We all need a friend in tough times, and Zozo has quite the journey ahead of him.
Okay, let's go, Zozo.
On days 4 and 5, Harry and I went out into the northern forest to start gathering wood. There was no time to waste, so I started punching as many trees as I could. After I gathered enough wood, I built a crafting bench and crafted a set of wooden tools. Hooray! Now I can start gathering stone.
You're doing awesome so far.
Thanks, but I think this is the easy part. It'll only get harder from here.
I'll be here to help every step of the way. Every hero needs a sidekick, right?
That's true, but enough talking for now. I've got to get enough stone to upgrade my tools. I got to work, and once I had enough stone, I upgraded all of my tools from wooden ones to stone ones. Ready to help me build a base? We need a secret hideout if I'm gonna be a real superhero.
Yeah!
We started building the base and made sure to add a room for me and another room for Harry, so we both had somewhere to sleep. While we were building, a tarantula hawk flew up and started attacking me. What's the big idea? I couldn't let it get me, not when I was finally making progress, and I definitely wouldn't let it hurt Harry. The fight wasn't easy, but I won. And afterward, I felt myself getting stronger. Hey, I gained a heart.
You're one step closer to being a superhero.
Yeah! On days 6 through 8, I explored more of the forest. I wanted to see what other resources I could use to build my base, or if there was any useful item someone might have dropped. As I was getting ready to pick some apples from a tree, I heard someone yelling.
Help! Somebody, help!
Sounds like someone needs a hero. I ran toward the sound of the voice, and I saw a raccoon being attacked by a pack of wolves. Don't worry, I'll help you. I'm your friendly neighborhood Zozo. As soon as the wolves saw me coming, they left the raccoon alone and ran at me. They snapped their jaws, trying to bite me and scratch me with their claws. But I dodged their attacks, and I hit them back with my stone sword. Ha! You're no match for me. I'm getting pretty good at this fighting to defend the innocent thing. After a while, I tired them out, and the wolves ran off and left me and the raccoon alone.
Thank you so much. You saved my life.
No problem. I'm Zozo.
My name is May. I'm sorry to bother you, but you're such a strong fighter. Would you help me with something else?
Helping is what I do.
I'm so glad. Then please, come with me to the swamp. There's a nasty bad guy there I need help with.
Lead the way. On days 9 and 10, May led me to the swamp to help deal with her problem. So, what's the deal with this swamp?
I was staying here when this big, mean ogre came in and started stomping around and telling me to get out. He broke my house apart and told me that this was his swamp now and I needed to get out. But all of my things are still here and I don't want to just abandon them.
Oh geez, that does sound like a lot of trouble. I'll do whatever I can to help.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad I found you.
What are you doing in my swamp?
The ogre jumped out, roaring and running right at us. He was much bigger than me, but I couldn't back down. I drew my sword and got ready to fight him. This isn't your swamp. You can't just kick people out.
I can do whatever I want. I'm the biggest, baddest ogre in the swamp, which means it all belongs to me.
You can't take things from people just because you're bigger and stronger.
Who's gonna stop me?
Me! I ran at him with my sword, but he grabbed me and lifted me into the air. Then he threw me. I landed hard and got the wind knocked out of me. Uh-oh, he might be too strong. He was getting ready to grab me again, and I swiped at him with my sword. He knocked the sword out of my hand, and it went flying. I had to run and grab it, and I knew if I tried to fight this ogre right now, I would lose. Let's get out of here, May. We'll go back to my base, and when I'm strong enough, I'll come back. I promise.
Okay, thank you for trying.
I didn't want to run away, but I can't save the day if I let myself get beaten by an ogre. So even though it wasn't fun to leave the fight, it was better that May and I were safe. On days 11 and 12, I brought May back to my base. I built her a room of her own with a chest and a crafting bench.
Thank you so much, both of you.
Of course. Stay as long as you like.
We're happy to have you. I was meaning to ask, do you know anything about the Green Goblin?
That monster? I sure do.
He kidnapped a friend of mine, and I'm trying to learn more about him.
I'm pretty sure he lives underground somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but I've heard a lot of rumors about his underground cave hideout. If you can find out where he is, and you're strong enough to fight him, you might be able to use the element of surprise to help you defeat him.
Underground, huh? That's really helpful. Thank you, May.
Of course. The Green Goblin is terrible, and I'd be happy to see someone finally take him down.
After I talked with May, I decided to add some food sources to my base. I know, I think I saw some chickens in the woods.
Yes.
So I built a fence to contain the chickens, then I went out looking for them. There you are. Come with me, chickens. I'll show you your new home. I herded the chickens back to the base and got them all set up in the fenced area. Then I cut down some grass and planted some wheat at the base. Now we'll have plenty of food, and I learned more about the Green Goblin. What a successful day! On days 13 to 15, I decided to find some ways to get stronger, so I turned to Harry for advice.
I think the best way to get stronger is to get some more experience. Explore new areas, go on some quests, fight more enemies. You can't learn if you don't put yourself out there, and upgrading your tools probably won't hurt either.
That's a great idea, thank you! If I was going to upgrade my tools, I needed to get mining. I mined some coal and some iron too. I raced back to my base to make a furnace. Then I smelted the iron and used it to craft all iron tools. Great, now time to explore. Where can I go? I should go somewhere really different from anywhere I've been so far. I know, I'll go to the ice spikes. So I gathered all of my new tools and headed off to the ice spikes. Brr, it's getting cold. I'm not used to this weather. Maybe I should have brought some more supplies with me.
Maybe you should have, but you didn't, because you're weak, and you'll never beat the Green Goblin.
Who said that? I looked up and saw a green golem standing on top of a tall ice spike.
I did. The boss sent me to check on your progress, and he's gonna laugh so hard when he hears about all this. But first, I think I'll teach you a lesson about trying to be a hero when you're really just a zero.
Then he jumped down from the ice spike and landed right in front of me. But I was ready for him, and I had my brand new iron sword ready to go. Not so fast. He ran at me, and I swung my sword. He tried to hit me, but I dodged and attacked again. It was a pretty tough fight, but I managed to win in the end. After I defeated him, I noticed he dropped something. Cool, an explosive bottle. I can use this to fight the Green Goblin. I was so excited to show my friends what I found that I ran all the way back to my base. Harry was waiting for me.
You should build an armory to keep your weapons.
Great idea! So I built an armory, and after I did, I felt myself getting stronger. Whoa, I gained 2 hearts. On days 16 to 19, I decided to follow Harry's advice and keep exploring to get more experience. Maybe I'll find something else that will help me beat the Green Goblin, or make a new friend. As I was looking around, I found an abandoned house. Anyone here? No one answered, so I let myself inside to have a look around. It was totally empty, except for a chest. I opened the chest and found an old book. I guess I'll read it. Superheroes should always take the time to read every now and again. As I read the book, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Whoa, so the Green Goblin is really Norman Osborn, the scientist. That's why he's so good at making those pumpkin bombs. I can't believe it. But it's in a book, so it must be true. Maybe this information will help me later. I grabbed the book to take with me and left the house to head back to my base. As I did, I saw the gremlins from before. Not you guys again.
You better believe it, Spidey.
The gremlins rushed at me, and I fought them off with my sword. When they realized they were outmatched, they started to run away.
This ain't the last you'll see of us, or the Green Goblin.
Tell your boss I'm getting stronger every day, and I'm coming to get my friend. I couldn't believe it. I beat the gremlins on my own this time. I was really starting to feel like a superhero who could defeat the villain and save the day. I wasn't quite ready yet, but I had already come so far. On days 20 to 22, I looked for some more bad guys to fight in the forest around my base. I wanted to get stronger and keep my friends safe at the same time. A mutant spider pig attacked May while she was looking for food, and I rushed in to save the day. Get away from her! I swung my sword and defeated the mutant spider pig easily. I was so much stronger than I was on my first day. I think I'm finally ready to take on the ogre and get your stuff back.
Are you sure? He's so scary.
I am. I just need to make some armor first. I gathered some more iron and crafted myself some shiny new iron armor. With this on, he won't be able to hurt me. I made my journey back to the swamp where the mean old ogre was waiting for me.
Back for more, are ya? I'll be happy to beat you again if you didn't learn your lesson the first time.
He grabbed me just like he did before, but when he threw me, my armor protected me from getting hurt. Nice try, but I'm ready for you this time. He was so surprised that he didn't have time to dodge my attack. I got him with my sword, then I hit him again. This time, he was the one who got knocked over.
Oh, fine, take what you came for. Just leave before the Green Goblin finds out you're here. He's scared of how strong you're getting, and he's not afraid to cheat and have someone else take you out before you find his hideout.
Whoa, so he's actually getting nervous.
Don't get too confident. You're still nowhere near tough enough to beat him. Just go.
So I grabbed a chest full of May's things, and I headed back to my base. On days 23 to 26, I returned to my base and went to find May. Here you go, I got this back for you.
Oh, thank you so much. It has everything I own inside. I was so scared that I lost it all after that ogre destroyed my house. Can I stay here for a little while though, before I find a new place to live?
Stay as long as you like.
Have you ever thought about building a guard tower to keep the base safe in case the Green Goblin sends any goons this way?
That's a great idea. I got to work building a guard tower, and when I was finished, I felt much safer. But I needed some ranged weapons to go with the guard tower, so I gathered flint, feathers, and string, and crafted a bow and arrows. Then May came over to talk to me, and she was holding something.
I found this in my chest of items, and I wanted to give it to you. My way of saying thanks for all of your help.
What is it?
A newspaper. It's enchanted. I think it might be useful for you.
Whoa, thank you so much! With my enchanted newspaper, my new guard tower, and my bow and arrow, I was feeling more prepared than ever. On days 27 to 31, I decided to get back to exploring and looking for new ways to get stronger. I hiked out to the Badlands to see what I could find. While I was exploring, I saw some tarantulas stuck in a hole. I'll get you guys out of there, just hold on. I helped them all climb out, and then I sent them back to my base so they would have a safe place to stay for a while. Spiders have to stick together. After I helped the tarantulas, I looked around the Badlands some more. There weren't any enemies to fight, but there was a lot of terracotta. This looks cool. I'll gather some for my base. I got as much terracotta as I could take with me and went back to my base to decorate with it. I worked hard on creating a beautiful terracotta floor in my room, and when it was finished, I kicked back and ate a snack. But I couldn't rest for very long.
Zozo, I need your help.
I sprung into action. What's wrong?
There's trouble in the rabbit burrow. We have to go help them.
Let's go! On days 32 to 35, Harry and I went back to the underground rabbit burrow to check things out and help save the rabbits there. When we got there, we saw a bunch of the Green Goblin's gremlins attacking and throwing pumpkin bombs. They were destroying everything! Not so fast! Don't worry, rabbits. Your friendly neighborhood Spidey Zozo is here to help.
What are you gonna do about it?
I drew my sword. Remember this? They looked pretty nervous, and I started slashing left and right, taking down as many gremlins as I could. I thought I'd beaten all of them, but there was one more hiding behind a nearby wall. Before I could get to him, he pulled out another pumpkin bomb and threw it right at the Giza rabbit who helped me before. No! But it was too late. The gremlin blew him up. You'll pay for this! I took down the last gremlin fast, but I didn't feel any better. I was so upset about the Giza rabbit.
It's not your fault. It's the Green Goblin. He did this.
You're right, Harry, and we're gonna make sure he never hurts anyone else again. On days 36 to 39, I decided to head to the beach and see if I could find anything useful there. I needed all the strength and weapons I could get if I was going to beat the Green Goblin before he could strike again.
Are there any heroes out here? Please, I need help.
A hero? That's me. Who said that? I can help.
Me.
I looked over and I saw a walrus sitting on the sand. What's wrong?
Out there in the water is my favorite rock to sit on when I want to catch a few rays. But when I try to sit there now, there's a mean octopus who keeps attacking me and trying to pull me into the water.
That's not very nice. You wait here, friend. I'll go teach that octopus some manners.
Be careful, he's very smart.
It's okay. I'm pretty smart too. I swam out to the walrus's favorite rock and waited for the octopus to try and mess with me. Wow, what a nice rock. I sure hope no one tries to pull me into the water. But I did hope someone would try, and I was ready. I didn't think I could fight in the water while trying to swim at the same time, so I would have to be able to fight from a distance. Good thing I crafted a ranged weapon. I grabbed my bow and arrow and waited. Sure enough, that pesky octopus showed up and tried to grab me. Before he could, I fired my arrow at him, a direct hit. He tried to grab me again, so I fired a few more arrows for good measure until I was sure I had won. Then I swam back to the shore to give the walrus the good news.
Thank you so much. Are you the hero that's trying to take on the Green Goblin?
I sure am.
Well, here's some advice. I heard he's strong, but not very fast. That's why he throws those pumpkin bombs. If you can avoid his bombs, it'll be easier to get him.
Thanks so much. I'll remember that. On days 40 to 43, I returned home to my base. It was looking a little bit dull, so I decided to spruce up the place with some torches for extra light and to keep any zombies away. As I was finishing up, Harry came to see me.
Say, this looks great.
Thanks.
Do you think we could make room for some more guests to stay here? I've met some squirrels in the woods who said the Green Goblin blew up the tree they were living in. I thought maybe we could help them out.
Sure, the more the merrier. Hey, let's build them a treehouse, then they'll feel right at home. Harry and I got to work, and before long, we built a great treehouse for the squirrels to live in. Then Harry went to get the squirrels and show them their new home. It felt good to help more people in need. It was a nice reminder that being a hero isn't just about beating bad guys, it's about helping those who need it. The tarantulas came to see me after I finished the treehouse, and then they told me that they heard a rumor about some baby spiders that were being held prisoner in a nearby cave. Well, I couldn't let that happen. I promised them I would go over there and rescue those baby spiders. On days 44 to 49, I traveled to the cave the tarantulas told me about to save those poor kidnapped baby spiders. When I got there, I couldn't see any baby spiders anywhere. I looked all over the place, but there weren't any spiders in that cave. Huh, that's weird.
You fell for my trap, Spidey. Ha 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 ha!
The green goblin jumped out from behind a rock.
There aren't any baby spiders here. It was a lie. But I knew that would get you to come here. Poor little hero with no one to save. Too bad, so sad.
You're scum, green goblin.
Oh, you wound me. You're running out of time, Spidey. Too bad you won't be able to save your buddy Spin before I blow him up. And when I'm done, I'll go to your base in the forest and blow that up too. That's right, I know where you've been hiding.
Why are you doing this?
Because I can. Wish I could stay and chat, but I've gotta run. I'll leave you with some company though. Oh, minion!
A huge earth elemental came into the cave.
Bye, Spidey.
The green goblin ran away and disappeared, leaving me alone with the earth elemental. He looked pretty tough. Uh-oh. I had no choice. If I wanted to get out of there and get back to my base, I was gonna have to fight him. On days 50 to 53, I did my best to fight the earth elemental. He was a lot bigger than me, but I wasn't about to back down or let myself get scared. I stared him down and got ready. The earth elemental ran at me and knocked me back into the cave wall. But luckily, I had my armor on and it didn't take too much damage. I jumped back onto my feet and ran at the earth elemental with my sword. I got a few good hits in before he knocked me back again. Next, I climbed up onto a rock and shot an arrow at him. It hit, and while he was recovering, I jumped back down and rushed up to deliver a finishing blow. He went down, and I was the winner! Woohoo! I did it! I really am turning into a superhero! Wait, what's this? There was a book on the ground. I picked it up and started to read. The Notes of Norman Osborn. I hate spiders so much. One day I'll find a way to get rid of every spider in the world, and then I can finally be happy once they're gone. I'm so glad I found this underground cavern to build my laboratory and base in. It's the perfect place to do my work. So the green goblin hates spiders. That's why he's after me and why he took Spin. That's despicable. So his lair is in an underground cavern. There's a drawing of a map here showing where it is. I'm one step closer to defeating him once and for all. On days 54 to 57, I returned to the forest and started making my way back to the base. I've got to tell my friends what I've learned. But as I was walking, I heard someone crying for help. I followed the sound, and there was some baby spiders in a cage. Oh no, there really are some baby spiders in trouble. Hold on, little guys, I'll save you. I ran to let them out of the cage, but I couldn't find a key. Then a phantom swooped down on me. I was ready though, and I slashed at it with my sword until it went down. I saw that the phantom dropped the key, and also a blast protection enchantment. Awesome! This'll help keep me safe from the pumpkin bombs. I took the key and let the baby spiders out of the cage. Be free! Then I went back to my base to let the tarantulas know that I managed to help out the baby spiders. Then I told them all about what I found out about the green goblin and his lair. I showed them the map, and they recognized where the caverns were. They promised to help me find the caverns when I was ready to finally have my showdown against the villain. On days 58 to 62, I decided to plant some more crops so that we could have more food at the base. I went into the forest and gathered melons, then planted a bunch of melon seeds next to my wheat. Next, I decided it was finally time to upgrade my gear again. I went back down into the mine where I found my iron and started looking for some diamonds. It took a while and a lot of hard work, but finally I found some. Sweet! Time to craft some diamond gear. I was able to use the new materials to craft a diamond sword. After that was done, I expanded the base and added some more rooms, including a bedroom for Spin. After all, he's gonna need somewhere to stay when I finally rescue him. On days 63 to 66, the squirrels came up to talk to me. They told me that I might be able to find some useful materials at the stone shores. So naturally, I decided to head out there and see what I could find. When I arrived there, I couldn't see much of anything that would help me beat the Green Goblin. I was starting to feel discouraged. Then, I saw a stone monster coming toward me. Oh no, I guess I have to fight this guy now. But to my surprise, he didn't want to fight. He just wanted my help getting rid of a mean mutant creeper that took over the cove and killed his uncle, Ben. I'm so sorry that happened. Of course I'll help. I asked him to show me where he last saw the mutant creeper, and he pointed me in the right direction. A hero's work is never done. I guess with great power comes great responsibility, but I'm ready for it anyway. On day 67 to 70, I traveled to the part of the cove that the mutant creeper had taken over. I could get more fighting experience and help someone at the same time. Just another day of being a superhero. Come on out, you mean mutant creeper. I'm here to dispense some justice. As soon as it heard me, the mutant creeper came out of hiding and rushed at me to attack. It came at me and started hitting me, but I countered with my sword and my armor protected me from the damage. I knew I had to defeat it before it had a chance to charge up or explode. So I had to work fast, faster than I ever had before in a fight. It was hard, but I managed to take down the mutant creeper before it could blow up. Whew, that was a close one. Then I went back to the stone monster. That mutant creeper won't be bothering you ever again. All in a day's work for an up-and-coming superhero. On day 71 to 74, I traveled to the desert to gather some sandstone. As I was walking, I noticed an unusual rock formation. It spelled out, if you're enjoying this adventure, find more Zozo videos by searching for ZO. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Wow, nature really is amazing. Now back to what I was doing.
Having a nice little desert stroll, eh, Spidey?
The Green Goblin suddenly appeared. I wasn't expecting to fight you so soon, but I guess there's no time like the present.
Watching you lose will be a gift.
I drew my sword and got ready to fight. The Green Goblin tossed a pumpkin bomb at me, and I had to dodge, but I got caught in the blast. Ouch! I lost a few hearts. I hate to admit it, but I'm still not strong enough. I need to get out of here. So that I would live to fight another day, I ran away as fast as I could before he could attack again. That was a close one. On day 75 to 78, I ran back to my base with some of the stone I managed to gather before the Green Goblin attacked me. I built a stone wall around the whole base. Awesome, this is looking great. At least something good came out of my trip to the desert. When I finished building the wall, Harry the Rabbit came up to me.
Zozo, I found something, and I wanted to give it to you as a present. Thanks for everything you've done for me. You're a great friend and a real hero. Here you go, it's a cobweb.
Whoa, thanks! I took the cobweb and it reminded me of my Spidey strength and everything I had accomplished so far. I felt myself growing bigger and I gained 3 more hearts. On days 79 to 84, I decided to try out my new strength and bigger size by fighting some bad guys. If I wanted to push myself, a good way to do that would be to fight in the cold. So I went out to the snowy tundra to look for some mobs I could fight to keep everyone a little bit safer. I didn't have to look for very long before I found some gremlins bullying a snowy goat. Hey, stop that!
Who's gonna stop us?
Me!
Oh yeah, we're so scared.
They didn't know how much stronger I was, so they weren't ready for how much better I was at fighting. It didn't take long before I beat them. I asked the snowy goat if he wanted to come back to my base and stay there for a while.
No thanks, I'm good. Could you walk me home though? It's just near here.
Sure. So I walked with the snowy goat until we reached his house.
You seem like a nice kid. Here, take this. Maybe it'll be of some use to you.
Then he gave me a vine lasso. This is great, thanks. Now I can attack the Green Goblin from a distance. Saving people is its own reward, but it's also pretty nice to get a gift every now and then. On days 85 to 89, I went back to my base. When I got there, I saw there were gremlins attacking.
Let's burn this place down before Spidey gets back.
Too late, I'm already here.
Uh-oh.
The gremlins ran away, but I chased after them. Hey, I've gotten faster. Before too long, I had almost caught up to them, but I was stopped by the Ragnarok.
Please help. Those nasty gremlins stole my falconry hood. I need it for my favorite eagle.
Don't worry, I'll get it back for you. Using my newly increased speed, I chased after the gremlins and caught up to them. Once I did, I beat them quickly and grabbed the falconry hood to take back to the Ragnarok. Here you go.
Thank you so much.
It's what I do. On days 90 to 94, I followed the gremlin footprints into the deep forest. This must be where they were hiding out before they attacked my base.
Oh look, it's Spidey. Come to lose another fight.
There was a gremlin chef waiting for me. Do I know you?
Oh, but you should. I'm the Green Goblin's top henchman. The guy who handles all of his biggest problems. And you're a pretty big problem. A bug that needs to be squashed.
He looked pretty tough, but I wasn't about to back down from this fight. I had to prove that I could take on the Green Goblin, so I needed to beat his right-hand man first. Let's do this! On days 95 to 97, I fought as hard as I could against the Gremlin Chef. At first, it was not going very well. He was dodging all of my attacks, one after another. Man, this guy's tough.
Might as well give up now, Spidey. You'll never beat me, and you'll never beat the Green Goblin.
But I thought about Spin and everyone else who the Green Goblin was putting in danger, and I knew I couldn't give up. I grabbed the vine lasso and threw it at the Gremlin Chef. It caught him. I was able to get him still enough to land a hit, and then the fight started to turn around. Finally, I knocked him down for good. As I was getting ready to leave, I noticed that he dropped something on the ground. Cave centipede leggings. I decided to put them on and see what they would do. I went back to my base and realized I could now climb up walls. This is perfect. I'll be able to use this to avoid the Green Goblin's pumpkin bombs and be faster than him. This is just what I needed. On day 98, I was back at my base and practicing climbing walls with my new cave centipede leggings. When I stopped to take a break, Harry came up to talk to me.
I just wanted to say, you've turned into an amazing hero, Zozo. I'm so glad I met you. If anyone can beat the Green Goblin, it's you.
Thank you. Next, May came up to see me. She brought me some diamond armor.
I spent the last few days making this for you. I hope you can use it when you take on the Green Goblin.
This is amazing. Thank you so much. Then the squirrels and the tarantulas thanked me for everything I had done for them. The tarantulas said that even though I wasn't a real spider, they considered me one of their own anyway. It really meant a lot to me. I was feeling braver and stronger than ever, with all of my friends by my side. On day 99, I asked the tarantulas to give me directions to the Green Goblin's underground lair. They told me where to go, and I headed out. It was now or never. As I was making my way toward the caverns, a cockroach scuttled past me.
You can do it!
Thanks, cockroach. I wasn't sure how she knew what I was doing, but I appreciated the encouragement anyway. Finally, I reached the Green Goblin's cavern lair, but the outside was crawling with green golems standing guard. Oh no, how am I gonna get inside?
I'll help you.
It was the walrus I saved from the octopus.
I'll take care of these guys. You get inside and get to the Green Goblin.
On day 100, it was finally time for me to face off against the biggest, baddest villain around, the Green Goblin. I was pretty scared, but I also knew how far I'd come and how many people believed in me.
So, you made it. Such a shame you came all this way just to die.
He threw a pumpkin bomb at me, but I dodged it and climbed up a nearby wall. I learned some new tricks, Goblin.
They won't be enough to beat me.
We'll see about that. From my place on the wall, I shot an arrow at him. He dodged it, but I jumped down and swung at him with my sword, and it hit him. Then I ran back up the wall and got ready to attack from a distance again.
I wouldn't shoot any more arrows at me if I were you. Look what I have.
And he had Spin there with him, tied up. I had to get Spin out of the way so he wouldn't get hurt when I attacked the Green Goblin. I thought quickly and used my vine lasso to pull Spin toward me and out of the way, just as the Green Goblin threw another pumpkin bomb. Then I remembered, I had the explosive bottle. I could beat the Green Goblin at his own game. Let's get out of here, Spin.
Running away, are you?
Nope, just getting far enough to do this. I threw the explosive bottle at the Green Goblin. Then I got out of there as fast as I could. Boom! The cavern exploded, and I knew the Green Goblin was gone once and for all. I finally had my friend back, and the land was saved. All thanks to your friendly neighborhood Zozo. On day 1, I spawned into the ancient forest as a super cool elemental wolf, a wolf spirit tuned into the power of the elements. This is awesome! And I've got 10 hearts too. That's so exciting. I wonder what I can do. I concentrated hard and blasted a powerful ball of energy. This would be an excellent weapon if anybody tried to attack me. And that was exactly what happened. A ghast floated out between the trees before me. What? Why are you here? Aren't ghasts supposed to stay in the nether?
You know nothing, little wolf. The world is changing, and the wheel of time turns on the command of our master, Fungi the Mushroom Lord. Will you swear your allegiance to him?
What? Fungi the Mushroom Lord? I'm not gonna swear allegiance to anyone if I don't know what they stand for.
If you are not the servant of the Mushroom Lord, then you are his enemy, and it is my duty to destroy his enemies. All glory to the Mushroom Lord!
The ghast started firing deadly fireballs at me. I was lucky that with my elemental powers, I took less elemental damage from the fire than a normal wolf did. I turned and ran as fast as I could, losing the ghast somewhere behind me. I wasn't expecting to get attacked so early, and who was this Fungi the Mushroom Lord? Before I could take the time to process any of this, zombies came shambling towards me out of the trees. In a moment of panic, I hit them with an energy blast, destroying them. Using my powers like this is exhausting. I need to find somewhere to sleep and figure all of this mess out. I found some shade beneath a tree and laid down to get some sleep. On day 2, I woke up from under the tree and went exploring the ancient forest. It seemed that this experience wouldn't be as awesome as I thought. I need to find out everything I can about this Mushroom Lord and why nightmarish nether creatures like the ghast are serving him. But first, seeing as how my powers exhaust me, I need some tools and some food. I started on the tools first. In the ancient forest, I was completely surrounded by trees. That's why it was so easy to break one of them down and collect enough wood to make myself a trusty wood pickaxe. Well, not that trusty, but it's a decent means to an end. I used the pickaxe to mine up some of the stone blocks. Between the stone and some spare sticks, I soon had a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. Not quite as defenseless now. That brings me some small comfort at least. I continued exploring the forest with my new tools until I happened upon an evoker standing in a clearing. I approached to ask him a few questions. Greetings, proud evoker. I'm Zozo, the elemental wolf. I have an important question to ask you, but first, an even more important question. Do you have any food?
Of course, Zozo. Here, have some of this meat. It's what a growing wolf needs.
The evoker gave me some meat, which I ate, seeing my hunger bar replenish. Thank you for this great kindness. And as for the other question, do you know anything about Fungi the Mushroom Lord? I ran into his ghast. He seems like some kind of threat to this land.
You speak the truth, Zozo. Fungi is a great evil. Some say he rose up from the deep dark. Others say he was grown in some kind of fungal patch of pure evil. All we know for sure is that he controls mutants, monsters, and abominations across the world. And if he isn't stopped, the entire overworld will descend into corruption and filth.
That sounds like a job for a certain elemental wolf. Rest assured, evoker, over the next 100 days, Fungi the Mushroom Lord will be defeated. On day 3, I knew that I needed to seek shelter. I couldn't hope to defeat the mushroom monster if I didn't have a place to rest and hone my abilities. As an elemental wolf, I have deep knowledge of the ancestral home of the elemental wolves in the ancient forest. Perhaps I could seek shelter there. But when I arrived at the ancestral home, I was devastated to find that it was already in ruins. It looked like nobody had really lived there in centuries. This must mean I'm the last and only elemental wolf. No matter, I have a duty and I still need to see it through. I'll rebuild the ancestral home myself. I crafted a stone axe and chopped down trees to gather raw materials, then set about painstakingly repairing the broken ancestral home until it was a brand new base of mine. For a brief period, I took a break to admire how the work was coming along when a huge, vicious giant came charging out of the woods. He must have been another one of the Mushroom Lord's monsters. While the giant was big and I was small, I didn't back down. I held my ground and fought back against the huge creature until he was no more. And this act of heroism gave me the power I needed to become bigger and stronger. I also rose up to 20 hearts and gained the elemental ability to breathe fire. Yes, this is more like it. I spent the rest of the day finishing up work on the base, proud of myself for how well it was all developing. From day 4 to day 5, I ventured out further into the forest, wanting to find more wood and stone that would help me rebuild the ancestral home to its former glory. When I have a fortress that's truly fit for an elemental wolf, it'll give me the confidence I need to vanquish the Mushroom Lord and save the world. But I must have been talking about saving the Mushroom Lord a little too loudly, because suddenly, the same ghast I'd run away from earlier had popped out of the trees.
You insolent brat! You have no idea the power you're messing with! The Mushroom Lord is a god, and you are a mere ant! Why are you so devoted to serving that nasty toadstool? You have no idea the power he commands. They say he cannot be destroyed, and all who face him are doomed to fall ill and wither away. Such is his supreme toxic power.
The only thing that's toxic to your devotion is this evil wannabe ruler. So how about we cut the talk and fight this one out?
That's the first intelligent thing you've said all day.
The Ghast was a formidable foe with his deadly exploding fireballs, but in the end, it was my elemental energy blast that won the day. The Ghast was defeated, and I gathered up the materials I'd come to collect before making my way back to my base. From day 6 to day 8, I ventured into a deep, dark mine network that contained many treasures, secrets, and deadly enemies. I crept through carefully, trying not to attract any unwanted attention. I was here for one thing and one thing only, some valuable iron ore, perfect for upgrading my weapons. We'll see who wins, gross squishy mushrooms or reliable cold iron. I looked up after the mining was done, hearing footsteps. It was a ghost miner walking towards me out of the darkness. But once again, I wasn't going to fold. I unleashed my elemental flame breath on the ghost miner, easily defeating it. Then I proceeded further into the dusty old cave where I found an abandoned furnace. There I forged an iron sword and an iron pickaxe. The Mushroom Lord is gonna love these, I'm sure. From day 9 to day 10, I decided to leave the cave and the ancient forest and explore the autumnal valley. It's been an intense few days. I think I need to go to a nice, calm place and clear my head so I can make a plan of action. But because the universe has a cruel sense of humor, during this mission of relaxation, I found Fungi the Mushroom Lord himself waiting for me. A huge, terrifying fungus man.
Ah, so you're the little cub they call Zozo. You're far less impressive than I was led to believe. Such a shame. I thought having an interesting challenger might liven up this whole process.
This process being...
The great change. I will alter and rebuild this sad little world in my own image. So far, none have offered up a meaningful challenge, and I don't expect that you will change this.
Allow me to prove you wrong, Fungi. I unleashed my strongest attacks on him, Energy Blast, Fire Breath, and even the strikes of my new Iron Sword. But it had no effect. That's when he struck me with an Energy Blast of his own that almost destroyed me. All I could do was run away in terror. I ran as fast as my elemental wolf legs could carry me. Even when I could no longer see Fungi the Mushroom Lord, I still felt terrified of him. I don't think I'd ever been so close to total destruction. In my darkest moment yet, an air elemental appeared.
Be calm, child. Fear will not save you here.
How could I be calm? I couldn't even slightly hurt him, and hurting me was nothing to him. I'm outclassed here.
But Zozo, you're the only one who can defeat him. Do you not know of the prophecy about the elemental wolf?
Prophecy? Look, I don't want to talk here. He could pop up at any time. Come back to my base with me, the ancestral home of the elemental wolves. We'll talk more there. From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base to find the air elemental already there waiting for me. How did you do that?
I'm an air elemental, young Zozo. I can move as swift and silently as the wind.
Then I guess I better build you a new room. Right now, there's only one for me.
That would be much appreciated, Zozo.
I spent the rest of the afternoon building the air elemental a new room in the ancestral home. When it was done, he fitted in there nicely.
You have done well, Zozo. Allow me to give you your first mission. You must source armor.
But wolves can't wear armor, air elemental. What use would armor give me?
You're not going to wear it, Zozo. You're going to keep it in the chest at the ancestral home. Having it in there will harden the strength of your spirit. It's an ancient tradition, you see.
Very well, Master. I shall do this.
Good. Take this potion of strength should you encounter trouble on your way.
I returned to the cave where I mined for more iron ore. However, my little adventure was interrupted by a huge, terrifying deadworm burrowing through the ground towards me. I tried to shoot it with an energy blast, but it resisted the attack. I needed to quickly drink the potion of strength the air elemental had given me. That gave me the boost I needed to pull out my sword and finally defeat the beast. Then, I took the iron ore down to the underground furnace and smelted it into a full set of iron armor and finished my tool set. After that, I went back to my base and the air elemental created a chest in my room. I put all my new iron armor inside and just hoped that the air elemental was right. I'll take anything that can help me right now. From day 13 to day 15, I convened with the air elemental in his room. He told me that he wanted to tell me about the prophecy he had mentioned earlier. You said something about an elemental wolf prophecy?
Yes, that I did. It's an ancient one that I studied back when I was a mere monk, before ascending to the level of air elemental. The prophecy says that a darkness would rise up from the ground and spread evil and tyranny across the overworld. Many would fall, but in the end, a great hero, the final elemental wolf, would rise up, discover his true power, and turn back to the dark. I believe that prophesied one is you, Zozo.
But, that's impossible! The last time I fought Fungi the Mushroom Lord, I didn't leave a scratch on him, and he almost destroyed me. I can't be the one from the prophecy.
You can be, and I truly believe you are, Zozo. But you must train hard and fight with all you have. Only then can you stand a chance against the terror that faces you. Are you up for the challenge?
I'll have to think about it. From day 16 to day 19, I woke up to find that the base was eerily quiet. I searched around, but I couldn't find the air elemental anywhere. This isn't good. I sense that something terrible has happened. I need to follow my elemental intuition and find him before it gets any worse. I followed my senses out to the cold swamplands. There, I couldn't help but feel paranoid. It was like I was being watched every step I took. And those senses paid off because suddenly an ender creeper teleported in front of me.
The Mushroom Lord was right. You fell right into our trap, little silly woofy. And you think you're gonna be the one who defeats him? Embarrassing!
What did you do with the air elemental? If you hurt him,
Yo, what? There's nothing you can do. Nothing except be destroyed.
The ender creeper ran at me, preparing to explode. He probably would have blown up half the swamplands if I hadn't hit him with a quick energy blast, destroying him before he had a chance to destroy me. Man, the people that the Mushroom Lord are sending after me really are dangerous. Suddenly, the air elemental popped out of nowhere. He must have been bound by some kind of dark magic until I defeated that awful ender creeper.
Zozo, you saved me! You're a true hero! Thank you so much for this!
Master Air Elemental, I'm so happy you're alive! This is amazing news!
I'm going to return to the base to regain my strength. Stay safe out here, Zozo. Fungi the Mushroom Lord has agents everywhere.
The Air Elemental left, and I continued exploring the eerie cold swamplands. During my search, I found a few zombies and was able to defeat them with my deadly iron sword. That gave me enough XP to level up again, becoming bigger, stronger, going as high as 30 hearts, and gaining a new ability, Claw Attacks. That feels appropriate for a wolf. I decided to leave the swamp, but on the way out, I ran into a wise-looking gold pig.
You seem like you're in a hurry, son.
Of course I am. I'm going to defeat Fungi the Mushroom Lord.
No, you're not.
What? Yes, I am.
No, you're not. Fungi the Mushroom Lord is a monster of pure evil. He's literally invincible. Unless you have the halo, which is almost impossible to get, there's no way you can beat him.
Oh. From day 20 to day 22, I returned to my base, only to see a couple more zombies milling around the grounds. The corruption of Fungi the Mushroom Lord seems to spread everywhere. I used my claw attacks to destroy the two zombies, then slinked off to my room, feeling defeated. Maybe there really was no way for me to defeat the Mushroom Lord. Maybe the prophecy was all nonsense. As if sensing my self-doubt, the air elemental wafted towards me.
Zozo, I've been working on something for you. I wanted to wait until it was done, but I think you need to see it now. It's a statue, a kind of monument, meant to inspire you and remind you of your inner strength. Perhaps you can help me finish it.
I went out behind my base and saw the beginnings of a statue. Already, it was amazing, even awe-inspiring. I felt so grateful to the air elemental for everything he'd done. Can you guess what it is yet? If you can, tell me down in the comments. And while you're down there, remember to subscribe to Zozo and hit the bell to make sure you never miss one of our adventures. From day 23 to day 26, a swarm of gas floated towards my base, launching explosive fireballs, trying to damage the statue we'd been working on.
Oh no, more of the Mushroom Lord's minions.
Don't worry, I'll handle them.
Be careful, Zozo.
I leaped into action. I had already taken on one gas, so I was feeling pretty confident about this fight. But they outnumbered me. I had to be careful not to take any hits. Since they'd come from the nether, the gas managed to resist my fire breath. But luckily, my energy blast seemed to do the trick. One of them even dropped an item I'd never seen before, a fire aspect enchantment for my sword. Wow, this is so cool. I'd better try it out. I ventured off to the Autumnal Valley to practice my new fire aspect sword on a horde of meandering zombies. Each hit of my new weapon made them burst into flames. Once the zombies were dispatched, a mysterious stranger approached me.
Wow, that's a mighty impressive blade you've got there.
Thanks. Who are you?
Well, I'm a weaponsmith, see? I specialize in quality crafted swords, bows, you name it. I've been trying to get to safety since the Mushroom Lord's forces started swarming all over the place. I don't suppose you know anywhere I could stay?
Sure, come back to my base in the ancient forest. We returned to my base, and the weaponsmith saw some of the damage the gas had left, so they suggested some ways we could improve the defenses, making my ancestral home better protected against attacks. I built a perimeter wall to keep the Mushroom Lord's minions at bay, and in return for giving me the idea, I surprised the weaponsmith with a new room that he could stay in.
This looks fantastic, Zozo. Thank you.
From day 27 to day 31, I decided to ask the weaponsmith if they knew anything about the Halo, the mystical item that could supposedly be used to defeat Fungi the Mushroom Lord once and for all.
Oh, yes, sir. I've heard many legends of such a thing. Supposedly, an ancient and powerful being fell from the sky many centuries ago. It was the first being to wield a halo, and it used the power to create the overworld and fill it with life. Then, it created balance between all the elements, between light and dark, good and evil. But then the dark and evil it had created to balance out all the good tried to overthrow the mighty creature and steal the halo for their own dastardly means. In the end, the ancient thing cast its halo out into space. Some folks like to think it's what formed the heart of the sun and keeps it burning.
Huh, that's quite the story. You think you could forge a halo of our own?
Well, that's no small feat, Zozo. It would just be a knockoff if I made it. Besides, a halo requires a powerful being, one able to bring balance to all the elements in order to wield it. But the real thing could be out there somewhere. There's some stories about it being lost at the heart of the swamplands, so maybe start there.
My search for the halo took me into the swamplands again, but I wasn't able to get very far. A witch ambushed me, sent by the Mushroom Lord to stop my progress. The witch was wielding dangerous spells, and although I fired a few energy blasts back, I couldn't get close enough to use my claw attacks, so I had to retreat. From day 32 to day 35, I was still determined to track down the ancient halo. Maybe the prophecy of the elemental wolf meant I could wield it and use its power to stop the Mushroom Lord. I ventured back to the cold swamplands, and luckily that pesky witch had gone. But the place wasn't empty. Completely by chance, I stumbled across a weird creature that looked like a mix between a chicken and some kind of lizard. Hey, what the heck are you?
Why, I'm a cockatrice, but my friends all call me Clarence.
Are you with the Mushroom Lord? I heard he controls all sorts of monsters and mutants.
That's rude. I'm actually trying to get away from the Mushroom Lord.
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. Say, why don't you come back to the ancient forest? My base is there.
Sounds like a plan, Zozo. I'll see you there.
Clarence ran out of sight, adding another person to my forces in the war against evil. But then, all of a sudden, the Mushroom Lord emerged.
Clarence, there's no use in hiding. You will be mine.
Oh no, I need to make myself scarce. Before the Mushroom Lord could see me, I quickly dug a small pit into the ground and hid in it until he passed through. Phew, that was a close one. From day 36 to day 39, I made my way back to my base, where Clarence was waiting for me. I immediately started working on a comfy new room for him, and when the room was done, Clarence and I sat inside, discussing our common enemy. So, what made you want to leave the Mushroom Lord's armies?
He's just so cruel. All he cares about is controlling the overworld and making everyone do his bidding. Some of us just want to live our lives, do our own thing without him telling us what to do all the time.
Say, Clarence, I've been searching for a halo so I can use its power to stop the Mushroom Lord once and for all. Do you think you could help me find it?
Well, what do you know? I heard about something like that. They say that the halo glows bright with the heat of the heavens, so why don't you head someplace hot to find your halo?
That's a pretty good idea. I'll head to the desert. Things are pretty hot out there.
Listen, Zozo, I wanted to repay you for letting me stay. I noticed you had an unfinished statue outside, so I thought I'd give you a hand with it. What do you think?
I went to take a look at the statue's progress. Whoa, I'm really impressed. Thanks, Clarence. You didn't need to do that. I'm happy to help, but I still appreciate the gesture. The statue was looking better than ever, a large recreation of an elemental wolf like me that perfectly told everyone around not to mess with us and that this forest was protected. Even if the statue was unfinished, seeing it closer to completion made me feel inspired. From day 40 to day 43, the weaponsmith informed me that I'd need some much stronger gear if I was going to explore the desert in search of a magic halo.
Listen here, Zozo. You don't want to get stuck in the desert without the right equipment. Luckily, I can make you what you need. I just need you to head into a cave near here to grab the right materials.
No problem.
Just be careful. There could be all sorts of critters down there.
I set off to the cave that the weaponsmith had pointed out, and it didn't take long for me to meet some critters, just like they'd warned me. I had to fight my way through the nasty insects, but lucky for me, my fire aspect sword was burning through them pretty easily. It was only as I got deeper into the cave that I discovered a nest of the bugs with a Myrmex queen in the center. I used an energy blast to clear the path. Too much fire, and I'd run the risk of getting burned myself. With the nest cleared out, I found what I needed: diamonds! Bringing them back to the weaponsmith, they were able to turn the diamonds into a matching diamond pickaxe and diamond sword for me. Now I was ready to head off to the desert. From day 44 to day 49, I was certainly glad to have a diamond sword handy. When I first made my long journey to the desert, I encountered a troll, a huge, ugly beast that tried to smash me to pieces. Luckily, I was able to dodge out of the path of his attacks. He was much bigger and slower, so my wolf speed made it easier to duck and weave between his clumsy, cumbersome swings before I could land the final blow with my sword. With the troll defeated and out of my way, I continued towards the desert. But when I arrived, it was clear just how dangerous this place was. Someone was already in trouble.
Help! Somebody, help!
It was a Cyclops who was being crowded by vicious husks. They were using the fact he had only one eye to take swipes at him from all sides. I jumped right in to help, hacking all the husks down.
Wow, thanks so much for your help.
No problem. I don't suppose you know where I can find the ancient halo?
The halo? I'm pretty sure there's an old temple around here somewhere that might have what you seek. Come on, I'll lead you there. Just keep an eye out for more husks, will ya?
From day 50 to day 53, we made our journey to the ancient temple and looked around. The place was pretty much deserted, all just ruins like when I had found what was left of my ancestral home back in the forest. The Cyclops and I went into separate directions to search, leaving each of us alone. Suddenly, I was confronted by the witch I'd found in the swamp.
You again. I'll deal with this meddlesome pup once and for all. Then I'll find that halo and destroy it to win favor with the Mushroom Lord.
Our battle began, and I had to move out of the path of the witch's spells. I'd faced off against that powerful magic before, and it had almost taken me out. But I had more experience now. I'd learned from my past defeats, and I'd come with new weapons. So I leapt into action and swiped my diamond sword at the witch. It worked! I landed some strong hits, then used the rubble of the temple as cover. Jumping back out at the right time, I was finally able to beat the witch for good. The Cyclops had been hiding, but reappeared to show me around the temple. There was a hidden area underneath the floor.
Go down there alone, Zozo. I'm way too scared.
I went into the underground area alone, and there we found something I never expected to see. It wasn't the halo, it was a lightning dragon.
Ah, you must have come seeking the halo. Sorry to disappoint, but don't worry, you're on the right path. You cannot merely find the halo, it must find you.
How can I make it find me?
You must master balance, Zozo. Become the balance of all elements. Then, and only then, will you find what you seek.
From day 54 to day 57, I made the long journey back to my base. When I arrived, I was so happy to see how much it had improved. I took a look at all the upgrades that my friends had made while I'd been gone. There were more defensive walls around the perimeter. We even had a watchtower where I could keep a lookout for the Mushroom Lord's forces. It was all coming together really nicely. I spoke with my mentor, the Air Elemental, about the advice the Lightning Dragon had given me.
Achieving balance between the elements is your destiny, Zozo. But it's no easy task. You need to seek out the root of evil and start tipping the scales. And as you do, you'll learn more with every victory. Here, there is one of the Mushroom Lord's cronies scouring the ancient forest for you. Go and tilt the scales back towards balance.
I set off to find the Mushroom Lord's mob, and sure enough, discovered a Dreadlich. This thing was scary. I'd never fought anything like it before. But my focus was on my goal. I had to master the elements and bring back balance, and I used that to guide me through the fight. With my goal in mind, battling the Dreadlich seemed easy by comparison, and it fell at my Flame Breath and Diamond Blade. I moved as swift as the air with the ferocity of fire and held my ground with the strength of earth. I was starting to learn what it really meant to be an elemental wolf. When I returned back to my base, the weaponsmith had a new diamond helmet forged for me, so I added it to my armor chest, feeling happy I was making so much progress. From day 58 to day 62, I was woken up by the weaponsmith, who seemed super excited to show me something.
Come, take a look, Zozo. We've been working hard on getting this place looking mighty fine. Come see the best part.
It was the statue. It had been almost finished, and it looked amazing. It towered over the main area of the fortress, proud and awe-inspiring. I was so happy to see it almost finished. It looks awesome, thanks so much. Suddenly, an explosive fireball rocked one of our walls. I ran outside to see the air elemental panicking.
Zozo, ghasts are attacking. We need to fend them off. Remember what you've learned about balance.
Yes, Master. You and all the others should hide in the buildings. I'll take them all on. With everyone else in safety, it was time for me to take on the ghast attackers. I hopped into the fray. This time, I tried to imagine water, how fluidly it moved, but also how strong and dangerous it could be. My elements had all the strength and speed of a flash flood, and it meant I was able to take down all of the ghasts in no time. But I wasn't fast enough to save one of my friends. A ghast had launched a fireball as it ran away, retreating to the Mushroom Lord, and the fireball had struck my trusty weaponsmith. From day 63 to day 66, I was still feeling sad at the loss of my friend, the weaponsmith. I had decided to venture back to the desert to seek more information from the lightning dragon. Although I was sad, I wanted to use the halo to stop the evil Mushroom Lord. I remembered my goal, balance. Not just balancing the elements, but also finding the right balance of my emotions too. I allowed myself to be sad for my friend, but also had to make sure I didn't let anger or hatred get the better of me. When I returned to the temple in the desert, the lightning dragon was nowhere to be found. That was strange, I thought. But then again, he had been cooped up underground for who knows how many centuries. Maybe he just needed to get out and do some sightseeing. But in his place was an old book. He must have left it behind. I opened it up to read, and it told the story of the halo in much more detail. And even better, there was a clue about where to look for it. I couldn't allow myself to get impatient. Learn how to master balance, and the halo would find me. That's what the dragon told me. Suddenly, I was attacked by the ghast, the one who had escaped. This was my chance to defeat it, but while I could have done so out of revenge for my fallen friend, the weaponsmith, instead, I remembered my lessons about balance and dealt with the last ghast. From day 67 to day 70, I headed into the heart of the ancient forest like the book had suggested. There was a sinister fortress waiting for me. It was the Mushroom Lord's hideout. It was no wonder his forces had been able to find my base so easily and so many times. His base wasn't far from mine. It had been under my nose the whole time. I tried to get closer to the fortress, but it was guarded on all sides by mutant zombies.
Halt! By order of the Mushroom Lord.
I'm not halting for him. His time is up. I need to end his reign of terror once and for all. I attacked the mutant zombie and easily chopped it down, but in the commotion, more of them started swarming to my location. There was a huge horde, too many for me to take down alone. Just as I was about to be defeated, I heard the voice of the air elemental in my head.
Zozo, don't give up hope. Things are tough right now, but you can't take on the Mushroom Lord until you're ready. Get to safety.
With that, I ran back to a safe distance where the air elemental was waiting for me. From day 71 to day 74, once we had made our way to safety, the air elemental noticed my discomfort.
I know you're frustrated, Zozo, but you can't give in to that frustration if you hope to succeed. I understand, we all do, but you just want to do right by others. But don't worry, victory will come in its own time.
As we headed back to our base, we came across a note that some of the Mushroom Lord's forces had left on a tree. We thought it was to send a message to all of his various mutants and monsters, but it was entirely possible he wanted to brag to me specifically.
Good news, my minions. I have in my possession the ancient halo. It was not lost. I have had it all along. But we cannot be complacent. The last thing we want is Zozo getting his hands on it. So be alert.
And if you spot that elemental wolf, you know what to do! The air elemental offered me some food to replenish my hunger, and we continued towards the base. From day 75 to day 78, we returned to my base in the ancient forest. Although my spirits were pretty low, seeing how much my home had been improved was enough to make me smile again. The place had gotten much bigger, not quite the size of the Mushroom Lord's fungal fortress, but still with more rooms and better storage and crafting areas. It reminded me of the weaponsmith and how he'd be proud to see how far we'd come. Suddenly, there was an attacker at the perimeter wall. It was one of the mutant zombies. It must have followed our trail back from the Mushroom Lord's base. Immediately, I went in to attack it, but not out of anger. I had to make sure to follow the air elemental's teachings and not let myself be too frustrated. I fought with all the ferocity of fire, but also the calmness of still water. I stood my ground like stone and finally moved with the swift speed of the air. I was in tune with all the elements, and it allowed me to beat the mutant zombie. To my surprise, I leveled up. My victory had made me even stronger. I now had 50 hearts and a new understanding of my elemental abilities. This gave me a special power, the Dragon Fireball Attack. Even better, the mutant zombie dropped a clue. Fungi the Mushroom Lord was going to be in the Autumnal Valley soon. From day 79 to day 84, I headed off to the Autumnal Valley, where I had first encountered the Mushroom Lord. Back then, I had learned that he was planning to unleash the Great Change and turn everything in the Overworld into an awful fungus-filled realm. But how was he going to do it? Was that what he needed the halo for? And why come to this place specifically? My thoughts were interrupted by another cockatrice popping out in front of me. Hey, who are you?
I'm Carl the cockatrice, and you must be Zozo, the elemental wolf.
So, are you friendly like Clarence? I know not all cockatrices agree with the Mushroom Lord.
Oh, you want to find the Mushroom Lord? Well, he's planning to use the winds here to carry his fungus spores across the Overworld. Here, I can take you to him.
I trusted the cockatrice like Clarence, but to my surprise, he turned on me. He was still loyal to fungi. We battled, and I used my Dragon Fireball Attack to finish off Carl. From day 85 to day 89, I decided to find anyone else that could help me put a stop to Fungi the Mushroom Lord's plans. I thought the most knowledgeable person to ask, after my mentor the Air Elemental, would be the Lightning Dragon. So I headed back to the temple where he had been before. But sadly, he still hadn't returned. That's when the Cyclops popped back up.
Oh, hey there, Zozo!
Hi, you're the Cyclops from before, right?
Yes, sir. Simon's the name. Didn't get a chance to thank you for dealing with that witch and those zombies before.
No problem. I don't suppose you know where the dragon went?
No idea. Haven't seen him since he left the temple.
That's a shame. I really needed his advice.
Anything I can help with? It's the least I could do after you helped me out.
I don't suppose you know how I can get the halo and defeat Fungi the Mushroom Lord?
Fungi? Well, the halo would help you for sure, but you mean you haven't tried netherite yet?
Netherite?
Yeah, fungi's weak to netherite. And lucky for you, I know a place you can get yourself some.
From day 90 to day 94, I headed off to the place that Simon the Cyclops had pointed out for me. It was a cave where apparently someone had stashed some netherite ingots and forgotten about them. I kept my guard up. After being betrayed by Carl, I couldn't be 100% sure that this wasn't a trap. And at any rate, the last time I was in a cave, I had a whole nest of nasty myrmexes to clear out. But much to my pleasant surprise, I found the chest without any trouble, and sure enough, it was filled with netherite ingots. But I couldn't just hurl them at fungi and call it a day. No, I needed to craft them into something that could help me win the day. I thought back to my old friend the weaponsmith, and it gave me the perfect idea. I'd make a netherite sword. Luckily, there was something that looked like a smithy right next to me. By combining the ingots with my trusty diamond sword, I was able to turn it into a brand new netherite sword, one that would weaken the Mushroom Lord when we next battled. From day 95 to day 97, I made my way back to my base in the ancient forest. It had been a long journey, and the ancestral home of my fellow elemental wolves was almost restored to its former glory. There was just one final touch.
Here, Zozo, we've been working on it to keep your spirits up, but you should be the one to put the final piece in place.
With that, I added the final piece to the elemental wolf statue. With the statue done, the air elemental approached me.
It's time, Zozo. You've learned much about harnessing the elements and restoring balance to the overworld. Before you face the Mushroom Lord once more, you deserve to give yourself a moment to remember just how far you've come and just how much progress you've made.
Taking a moment, I realized that I'd grown and gotten stronger as the statue had gotten bigger. It was there as a reminder of how much I'd gone through and how big I felt on the inside now. It had been one heck of a journey and not always an easy one, but I wasn't the same wolf cub that I'd been when I started. Ow! On day 98, I got ready to set off to take on Fungi the Mushroom Lord one more time. First, I spoke to Clarence the cockatrice. Well, Clarence, this might be goodbye for good.
Zozo, wait! I want to come with you.
Are you sure? I thought you were scared of the Mushroom Lord.
I am, or at least I was, but I should have stood up to him instead of running away. If you're gonna take him down, then now's as good of a time as any for me to do what I should have done from the start.
Glad to have you with me, Clarence. As we went to leave, my air elemental mentor had one final bit of wisdom to impart.
Zozo, you must remember all you've learned. You can restore balance as an elemental wolf with the halo in your possession. You'll be able to bring all the elements of the overworld into harmony once again. But there is one final thing you must do. If you've been enjoying this video, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel.
On day 99, Clarence and I marched up to the huge fungal fortress of the Mushroom Lord. Our plan was to get inside, weaken Fungi, and get the halo back from him. We were met by a horde of zombies ahead of us, but I remembered all I had learned so far and relied on my elemental powers to fight back. My dragon fireball attack took out a bunch of them as I used fire and air at the same time. I swung my netherite sword at the zombies, taking them out in one hit. The air was guiding my sword, and the netherite hiding within the earth was strengthening my blows. The zombies had once been a challenge with their numbers, but now I was better attuned with the balance of the elements, staying calm and cutting through them, one by one. As more and more zombies flooded out, Clarence hung back to distract them, and I ran right into the base, ready to take down the Mushroom Lord himself. On day 100, I searched the fungus fortress for the Mushroom Lord, but instead, I found what I'd been looking for, the halo! But it was guarded by a mighty pigless. I used all of the elements to defeat him. And sure enough, just like the lightning dragon had promised, I obtained the halo. I leveled up, getting 80 hearts, and even one more extra ability, a lightning blast. I hurled crackling bolts of lightning at the pigless. Before long, they had been defeated, which only left their master.
Zozo, you won't stop the great change. Even with that blasted halo, you'll never stop my plans. Soon the overworld will be mine, a filthy fungus-ridden paradise for me to rule over.
No, Fungi, you'll never win. I have mastered all the elements, but most importantly, I know why you'll never win. Because there must be balance. The overworld can't just be one thing.
Foolish wolf, you have been a thorn in my side for too long.
Right before my eyes, Fungi the Mushroom Lord grew into a huge version of himself. Although I was surprised, I didn't let my fear rule me. After all, two could play that game. I channeled the balance of all the elements and called on the power of the halo to transform into my ultimate form. Awoo! The battle was on! I swiped at Fungi with my netherite sword, and it worked! Simon was right. Netherite made him weaker. I fought with all the attacks at my disposal, energy blast, then followed up with a claw attack, and some extra dragon fireball and lightning strikes for good measure. The netherite made my attacks do some real lasting damage. The Mushroom Lord was almost beaten. I summoned up all the elements, earth, wind, fire, the water, lightning, and energy of the overworld, and channeled them into one last swing of my sword. Boom! It worked! Fungi the Mushroom Lord was defeated! He exploded into tiny little spores. But this wasn't a chance for me to be cruel, so I called up the wind to carry his spores across the overworld, just enough so that fungus and mushrooms would grow. After all, everything had to be balanced. That was my job as the Elemental Wolf.
On day 1, I spawned in as Vegeta. Tremble before the Prince of all Saiyans. What? Only 5 hearts? That doesn't make sense. Isn't he supposed to be super powerful? I guess I'm gonna have to do some serious training if I want to live up to the real Vegeta's reputation. Where's an old martial master when you need him? Is that one over there? He looks like he might know some wisdom. It's me, Zozo. I'm looking for someone to train me. Are you worthy to train a Saiyan?
No, I am not worthy to train a Saiyan. but I am worthy to capture one and make him fight to his doom.
This is no martial arts master. He's a wicked wizard, and he's attacking me with magic.
You're mine, Zozo. I've captured warriors far more capable than you.
Not today, wizard. Nowhere to run. I've got to jump off this cliff to get away. Hopefully I can fly. Vegeta can fly in the show, so why not? Here goes everything. Uh-oh, I can't fly yet. Ah, I'm falling. I guess Vegeta doesn't take fall damage. Must be the ability I start with. It'll probably upgrade to flying later. That wizard said something about capturing Saiyans. Maybe he has some of my friends, or even Goku. But Goku isn't Vegeta's friend. He's more like a rival. Every tough guy needs a good rival, and I guess for now I'll have to settle for that wizard guy. I'll rest at the bottom of this cliff until morning. On day 2, I start punching trees and rocks, and get the supplies to make my wooden pickaxe. I think I'll build my base somewhere away from this cliff, since I don't want to run into the wizard again before I've gotten stronger. I'll need wide open spaces to fire my ki blast, so this rocky desert will do nicely. There are some nasty coyotes here, but I'm a Saiyan. I can beat a few coyotes barehanded. Confusing me for just another helpless villager, the coyotes attacked, but I was ready. It looks like I have some buffs to my punching damage, probably from being a martial artist. That'll come in handy. Get out of here, coyotes. This is my turf.
Okay, we're going. You don't need to be such a jerk about it.
You should have known who you were messing with. With my pickaxe, I start mining for sandstone. That will be the main material that I use when making my base, at least until I can go underground and get some more durable blocks. There are some cactus blocks here too, but I don't have any armor or weapons, so I'm just gonna leave them alone for now. If I decide later that I want green dye, then I'll be sure to start farming those cactus blocks. I end the day by building a fence around where I want the base to be, and a tiny tent to sleep in. When it's done, this will be the perfect gym to train as a Super Saiyan warrior. On day 3, I travel to a nearby forest to find some more wood for my fences. If there's a river I can redirect into the desert, that'll also be a good future project. Of course, I wouldn't be Vegeta if I wasn't also looking for a fight. Saiyans get stronger the more they battle tough enemies after all. That giant tarantula should make for a worthy opponent. Spiders give me the creeps, but Vegeta isn't afraid of anything. Let's go, tarantula. I started punching and doing some damage, but I was also losing too many hearts too quickly. Oh no, he's biting me. Gotta run. Didn't think a spider would be giving me so much trouble. But is it really fair that he has 6 more arms than me? While I was escaping from the tarantula, I found that there was an entire monkey caught in its web. Monkeys are like distant cousins to Saiyans, so of course I have to help him. I punch away the webs and set that monkey free. Be free, monkey. Oh, I guess he has something to say. What's up, new monkey friend?
Thank you for releasing me. My name is Stu, and I was chased here by an evil wizard.
I'm Zozo. I've seen that wizard too. Why was he after you?
He thought I was a Saiyan, so he tried to kidnap me.
Well, you're safe now. Why don't you come back to my base with me?
Sure, but only if you've got bananas. Stu the monkey is bananas about bananas.
On days 4 to 5, I made the fence surrounding my base bigger in order to make space to build a house for Stu. Full of bananas, obviously.
Yeah, baby. Stu loves bananas.
That should keep him entertained, while the real Saiyan focuses on important things, like getting so strong that I can totally send that wizard flying into space when I next see him. The problem is, a bigger base meant that I was much closer to the cactus blocks, and the cactoids were starting to become aggressive. And I don't have enough buckets of water to tame them off. Back off, you greedy cactoids! The fence can keep the little ones out, but when night comes, the local cactyrant is going to transform and attack me. Those guys are no joke, and they attack at night when the sun can't make me stronger. Or is it just Goku that powers up with the sun? Either way, those creepy cactus creatures have the advantage, unless I take my arsenal up a notch. I have until night falls to craft a weapon from the materials I've mined. Nobody wants to fight a cactyrant barehanded after all. Damage buffs or not. There's plenty of stone around, so I use some stone blocks and a stick to make a stone sword and some tools. I wait until it gets dark, and then I go out and face the cactyrant. I defeat him using my new weapon. He drops boots of swiftness. Wow, that's unexpected. Now I can run around at high speeds with the best of them. Bet that evil wizard would never see this coming. Woohoo! If only I knew where I was going. On days 6 to 8, I'm deep in the desert gathering up sand to craft some pockets of sand. Vegeta doesn't always fight fair, so I want to be able to throw sand at my enemies, and I might need to, because here comes that evil wizard from earlier, and it looks like he's riding on a go-kart.
There you are, Saiyan. This time you won't get away.
You'll never capture the Prince of Saiyans. But the scary thing is, he actually might. No matter how fast I try to run with my boots of swiftness, it's like he's always catching up to me.
I told you there'd be no escape this time.
That vehicle is really fast, so I have to lead him to the cactus patch where he has to drive more carefully.
You think some puny cactuses will stop me, Zozo?
The plural is cacti, actually, Dark Wizard. Maybe you need to go back to school.
I'm evil. I don't have to get things right. I do things wrong on purpose.
He throws a spell at me from long range, and now I'm taking damage. I hide behind a tall cactus, then I throw a pocket of sand at him. Yes, it looks like that threw off his steering and made him stop the go-kart.
Well, I'm not going to drive when I can't see. That's just basic road safety.
The effect will wear off soon, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank goodness he doesn't know about my base. On days 9 to 10, I still don't know why that wizard wants to capture me. How can I be the Prince of all Saiyans when I'm afraid to fight the first guy I met in the world? Stu thinks I'm being too down on myself.
Don't worry, Zozo. You're doing a lot better than I could. You saved me from that spider, and I'm sure you'll save us both from that wizard too.
Well, maybe, but I think I should build a statue to get my mind off of things.
Get your mind off of things like being afraid you won't defeat the Dark Wizard forever and all time?
You're not helping me out, Stu.
Sorry. Stu does believe in you, though.
I think I'll build a statue of Vegeta's father, King Vegeta. That way I can show everyone who comes to my base how powerful the Saiyan people once were. It might encourage me too, who knows? But this won't be just any statue. The King of Saiyans needs a huge statue made out of strong material. I better start mining stone and gathering all the materials in my base. And who knows, maybe all this mining will help make me stronger too. It's good exercise. I'm also going to get a source of water in the base by redirecting a nearby river. My Saiyan fists are super strong, so these blocks are like nothing to me. I also made myself a bigger place to live and constructed a house out of sandstone. And now that I have more water in the base, I can start taming the nearby cactoids with buckets of it. You nerds work for me now. On days 11 to 12, a Viking villager arrived outside my base with a story to tell. He had apparently traveled a long way seeking my base.
You must be the Saiyan I've heard about. I am known as Charles, and my people are the Vikings. Days ago, I escaped from a terrible place where the Dark Wizard Baraka is making all the greatest warriors in the land fight until only one remains. He continues to gather the mightiest fighters he can find and pit them against each other.
Why is he doing that?
Who knows? Before it was my turn to fight, I ran away as fast as I could. Now I have come to you with a warning. Baraka will stop at nothing to capture you. With a true Saiyan in his collection, he'd be able to make the battles even more violent.
So that's where all the strong people are hiding? Interesting.
It's strange. There was another one like you there, except he wore robes of orange.
Wait, Goku is there? But he's my tough guy rival. No one gets to defeat him until I defeat him.
I guess you had better start training then.
For now, I'll still avoid getting captured, but it sounds like the wizard is holding a tournament for powerful fighters. I better hope I can qualify. In the meantime, how about we get you some water, Charles? You look exhausted after all that.
Thank you, Zozo. It seems you truly are the hero people say you are.
On days 13 to 15, I train non-stop to make myself even stronger, because that is what a Z-fighter does when push comes to shove. Cutting down some of the cactuses is great training for swordsmanship. I can't just rely on my fists if I want to win this thing. And I also can't let my opponent look down on the Prince of Saiyans, so I go back to that giant tarantula and challenge it to a rematch. This time, I'm armed and ready. Bring it on, you 8-legged freak. I start the fight by throwing a sand pocket, and then I run in, swinging my sword. I'm doing a lot more damage now, and my ki blast is also very helpful. Not so tough now, are you, Spidey? It tries to trap me in a web, but my sword can cut straight through like it's no problem. The bigger they come, the harder they fall. This spider is toast. Whoa, I feel like my power level is rising. This is gonna be good. I've become Super Saiyan, with 15 hearts and way stronger attacks. Tremble before me. I'm the legend that all of my enemies of the Saiyans fear. I know that Vegeta can still get a lot stronger than this, but the change in appearance shows I've made some real progress towards my goal. I'm going to prove that I'm the strongest warrior in the world. Even Goku won't be able to defeat me when I'm fully leveled up. On days 16 to 19, I dig deep into the mine in search of materials. If I can get my hands on some metal, I'll be able to have better gear to match my brand new Super Saiyan form. It feels good to be a legend. The way forward is infested with skeletons, so it looks like I'll have to take them down first. Out of my way, skeletons. You're all just jealous that you don't have muscles like Vegeta. I guess that really struck a nerve with the leader of the skeleton horde.
You think you can come in here and make fun of us, Zozo? We're working for the Dark Wizard, and he sent us here to capture you.
Well, tell him he should have sent better. Or don't, because I'm sending you back to oblivion. The skeletons that charged me directly were easy enough to deal with, but those archers were always a pain. It's a good thing that I have Ki Blast to return fire. No bones about it. You guys are done for. I take out the ones at close range and then mop up the rest. But it looks like their leader got away. He's probably going to tell the Dark Wizard that I'm a force to be reckoned with.
You haven't seen the last of me, Zozo. I'll be back.
Now it's time to give my armor an upgrade to full iron. While I'm at it, I'll craft an iron sword and iron pickaxe too. Iron everything. Oh, the irony. On days 20 to 22, I was surprised to see Charles the Viking return to the base. What's going on?
Be careful, Zozo. Baraka somehow found out where I was, and now he's followed me here to the base.
Get inside. I'll handle this. Charles went inside the base. I went to go face the Dark Wizard Abraka alone. He was waiting just outside. I'm ready for you this time, Dark Wizard. Show me what you've got.
Foolish Saiyan, you are light years away from being able to defeat me.
We'll see about that. I threw a sand pocket at Abraka to blind him, then followed up with a key blast shot. To my surprise, he wasn't there. He was right behind me instead.
You've met the Viking, so you know why I'm here. You know about the battle to find out who's the strongest fighter in the world.
I swung my iron sword at him, but he avoided it.
Will you accept my challenge?
Oh, so now you're giving me the choice.
It's because you've grown a bit stronger, Zozo. If I fought you now, I couldn't go easy on you.
Is that right? I'm not afraid. Bring it on. I threw another pocket of sand at the Dark Wizard, and this time he was blinded. I followed up with a few powerful strikes from my sword. Yeah, I really got him.
That's enough. Don't make me destroy you, Saiyan.
The wizard summoned an explosive block of TNT. I ran for cover as it exploded. When I looked back over, he was gone. Was he really holding back, or just afraid of what the Prince of Saiyans could do? Either way, I would happily take him on again and find out. On days 23 to 26, I was finally able to start farming the cactoids and cactyrants for materials. And this is the fruit of my labor. No, not the prickly pears, even though they did drop a lot of those. Using the thorns that the cactyrant dropped, and with a little bit of crafting, I can make a thorn shooter. Looks like building a training center in the middle of the desert has its perks. This new thorn shooter will be my ranged weapon of choice. I don't know what kind of totally crazy warriors I'll be facing when, and if I take the Dark Wizard up on his challenge. But it'll be good to have some variety in my attack options.
Stu thinks that thorn shooter is really cool. I'm impressed.
Thanks, Stu. Let's go test out this weapon in the desert. Who knows? Maybe we'll even find some strong enemies to defeat. Me and Stu headed out to the desert and made a few targets out of sandstone. They'd be a perfect way to focus my shooting skills. Bam! Bam! Look at those targets go down. This thorn shooter is so powerful.
Hey, can Stu try that thorn shooter? I've got a score to settle with another monkey back in the forest.
Yeah, maybe I should keep it for now, Stu. I feel like things are about to get even crazier, and if you'd like to find more of my videos, you should like, subscribe, and type ZOZO in the search bar. It never fails. On days 27 to 31, I start to add some of the more durable material to the statue of King Vegeta. I want to make sure his armor is absolutely perfect. For the blue parts of the armor, I've got to get my hands on some diamonds. But that's a really rare material, so it looks like it's time to go underground. Stu, hold down the fort while I'm away.
You can count on Stu. It's not like I'll monkey around while you're away.
I venture down into the underground, farther than I've ever gone before, until I am greeted by the bright light of orange lava. Somewhere in these lava caves, I should be able to find a vein of diamond. It looks like a couple of magma cubes don't appreciate me trespassing down here. If the cactus blocks damage me when I touch them, there's no way these things don't. The last thing I want is to touch any kind of magma in a place like this. Gotta put my thorn shooter skills to the test and take them out at a distance. Magma cubes always split into smaller magma cubes when they take hits, so I won't keep moving until they are completely gone. My key blast area attack helps with that. Just past the area where I fought the magma cubes. Wait, where are the diamonds? Huh? No diamonds down here. Well, then I guess I'm gonna need to find another way to get the blue for the King Vegeta statue's armor. Wait, I have a plan. If I mix sand, gravel, and some blue dye together, I can make blue concrete blocks. That'll do just fine for now. On days 32 to 35, I felt tired from all the farming and training I did, so I couldn't access my Super Saiyan form. I'll have to rest soon, but for now, I received another visit from my old nemesis, the skeleton that ran away from me in the mines. Still working for the Dark Wizard, I see.
You're gonna get it now, Zozo. I brought the Desert Lord with me, and he doesn't take too kindly to some Saiyan wannabe building bases in his desert.
Well, too bad. I am the Prince of Saiyans, and I don't take orders from the likes of you guys.
Then I guess we'll have to fight you.
The Desert Lord ran at me. I won't lie, he was big, and I felt a little intimidated. Thankfully, I didn't have to fight him with my sword. I was prepared for a battle, and my thorn shooter had full ammunition. Eat my thorns, Desert Lord.
No way! You've got a thorn shooter. No fair. Let's mosey on out of here.
Cowards! The skeleton and the Desert Lord ran away. Hopefully they won't be back again. It looks like some of the other mobs have returned as well. The gang of coyotes are back. Didn't I already teach you guys a lesson?
We know, Zozo, you're very strong. but that's why we need your help.
You coyotes need my help?
Yes, our friend the tribal gremlin was taken by the Dark Wizard's second in command, the champion Colossus. He's holding him in his fortress until the Dark Wizard wants him to fight.
You took some gremlin before he got to me? I guess I'm going to have to see this for myself. Your friend is as good as rescued. On days 36 to 39, I set off to go save the tribal gremlin from the champion Colossus. Those coyotes are going to owe me one. Whoa, is that the champion Colossus's base up there on that hill? I really need to start expanding my base if I want it to look like that. He had a pair of iron golems guarding the gate, and there were gargoyles on the rooftop. I don't know what I was expecting from the Dark Wizard's henchmen, but this guy must be really serious. I can't just fight my way in there. I'd be totally outnumbered. I'm going to need a solid plan if I want to get in there and save the coyote's friend. I made my way around the entire mountain, searching for any less guarded areas that I can sneak into. On the far side of the fortress is a tunnel, but I'll still need to avoid those gargoyles that are flying around on patrol. I guess I'll have to use a frontiersman's cap to engage stealth mode. Sorry, raccoons, your sacrifice will not be soon forgotten. I'll need your tails to make the cap, and if I can use this to free the tribal gremlin, it'll all be worth it. But what if something even scarier is waiting for me down in the tunnel? Wait, I said earlier Vegeta isn't afraid of anything. I need to be courageous. The tribal gremlin and all the coyotes depend on me. Tomorrow, it's go time. On days 40 to 43, I'm sneaking through the fortress and avoiding detection from the mobs that the champion Colossus has been using to guard this place. I'm still not scared, obviously, but if they know I'm here, they might suspect the tribal gremlin of planning an escape and do something to hurt him. The coyotes would never let me live that one down. Using the thorn shooter, I can pick the mobs off from a distance without them ever knowing I was there. As long as I'm doing it one by one, of course. First, I take out a couple gargoyles. Then, I finish off the iron golem, guarding the entrance to the fortress's dungeon. I've got to be careful though, because even though these guards are nothing to worry about, the champion Colossus is somewhere in this place, and he has to be almost as strong as the Dark Wizard. After a whole lot of sneaking about, I find my way to the tribal gremlin cell. Hey, gremlin, up and at them! The coyotes sent me here to rescue you.
Ah, good. I was getting tired of waiting for a good fight. Let's get out of here.
You say that like you could have left at any time.
I've never slept in a fortress before. It was kinda cool, honestly.
Well, I'm building the ultimate training gym out in the desert. If you need a better place to crash, you should stay at my base. The tribal gremlin seems sure of himself. Either way, we make tracks and find our way back to the coyotes.
Thanks, Zozo.
On days 44 to 49, I continue crafting more blue concrete for the statue of King Vegeta. He is going to look so regal. It'll be the centerpiece of my base when it's finally finished, but a job this big requires the help of many friends. I had Stu gather fur from the forest that I could use to line the king statue's tail.
Stu can get you all the fur you need. Just don't ask whose it is.
Charles, on the other hand, went to the ocean for some lapis lazuli stone. That way I had 2 shades of blue to work with for the armor.
Blue is my favorite color. Vikings love the sea after all, and I'm no exception.
While everyone else is gathering materials for the statue, the tribal gremlin and the coyotes are building a sandstone wall around the perimeter of the base.
Does this look good, Zozo? Don't worry, guys. I think it looks great, no matter what anyone says.
I've got a few larger rooms for training and keeping spare weapons, and I also reused some of the materials from my fences to build a pen for the tamed cactoids. Stu also came back from his last trip with something I'd never seen before.
Hey, Zozo.
What is it, Stu?
I found a bunch of banana blocks in the forest and thought we could use them to make even more bananas.
This is your wildest idea yet, Stu. But I guess having enough bananas to go around never hurt anybody.
That's the spirit. Bananas to all, and to all a banana.
On days 50 to 53, the Dark Wizard finally reared his ugly head. And he wasn't alone. By his side were all of the henchmen I'd come to know and hate. The skeleton leader.
I told you I'd be back, and now I'm back. Again.
The Desert Lord. He doesn't say much. And most terrifying of all, the champion Colossus. He's probably pretty upset after I managed to sneak into his fortress and save the tribal gremlin.
I'm pretty upset that you managed to sneak into my fortress and save the tribal gremlin.
Told ya.
The time for your reckoning has come, Super Saiyan Zozo. I may have offered you a choice before, but now you have stolen 2 of my fighters away. That is unforgivable.
Well, have you thought that maybe those guys didn't want to be taken prisoner?
Intriguing. Now perish.
I felt my power rising, and once again, I turned back into my Super Saiyan form, ready for the fight. The Dark Wizard's forces attacked the base,
Everyone did their best to repel the attack, but the champion Colossus was simply unstoppable. I couldn't worry about him now, because Skeleton and Desert Lord had closed into melee range and were looking to take me down.
Yeah, no match for us this time, Zozo.
I drew my iron sword and took out the Desert Lord without much difficulty. The skeleton was a lot tougher, but even he couldn't withstand the power of a Super Saiyan. Speaking of Super Saiyan, I felt my power level grow once again as I buffed up to Super Saiyan Blue. I've got 30 hearts and I can fly now. How do you like me now? I was so excited that I almost didn't notice that the Dark Wizard and the Champion Colossus were retreating, and they had taken Charles with them. Charles, no! On days 54 to 57, myself and the other NPCs in the base did our best to repair the walls and training room. Nothing could repair the loss of Charles the Viking though. We had to get our friend back. He didn't deserve to fight other warriors until the end, and he definitely didn't deserve to fight Goku before I got to. I went to the tribal gremlin, half wondering how he didn't get captured when he had already gotten taken beforehand. How can we get Charles back?
It's simple. We go and save him because we want to, and we succeed because we believe we can.
That doesn't sound like a real plan.
The true warrior does not need plans, only the will to triumph.
Okay, look, TG, I just need to know if you have any idea where this Tournament of Champions is being held.
Fine. The truest warriors know that there is a Colosseum deep in the Nether, where only the mightiest fighters have gone. I think Baraka has probably chosen that place as the location of his tournament.
Nether Colosseum, got it. How do I get there?
The only functioning portal to the Nether in this world was inside of the Champion Colossus's fortress. After you broke in, they most likely destroyed it so you couldn't follow them.
Well, there has to be a second portal. Otherwise, how could they get back to the Nether with Charles?
Think of it this way, Zozo. You could scour the entire world for that second portal, or you could be a true warrior and build one yourself.
Well, I guess I do want to be a true warrior. Building another portal it is. On days 58 to 62, I finally found an underground cavern with some diamond veins. Jackpot! I know that lava caves can be dangerous, but they're perfect for finding diamonds and also the obsidian I need to make the outside of the portal. But of course, diamonds come first. I'll need a diamond pickaxe to mine those obsidian blocks, and full diamond gear wouldn't hurt either. In addition to the magma cubes from last time, there are a few other mobs deep inside the lava caves, like these fire elementals that really meant to do me harm. But now that I'm a Super Saiyan 2nd grade, my buffs to melee attacks without a weapon are through the roof. I can punch cactuses bare hand, magma cubes barehanded, and now even the fire elementals can be defeated with just punches. After I dealt with those mobs, I got back to mining, and before too long, I had all the diamond ore that I needed to make myself a diamond pickaxe. And since I'm here, I think a newly upgraded Super Saiyan deserves some super cool diamond armor and weapons to match. That's right, I'm now decked out in full diamond armor, and a diamond sword too. Next, I rerouted some of the water in my base into the lava caves, creating a field of obsidian blocks ripe for mining. I'll be ready to make that nether portal in no time. But there are a few last things I need to do before I can start my quest to finally defeat the Dark Wizard. On days 63 to 66, I take a break from building my portal to continue work on the statue of King Vegeta. Wow, it really is starting to look like him. I wonder what the real King Vegeta would say if he were to see us now.
This is King Vegeta saying, subscribe to Zozo for more cool adventures like this. For the sake of all Saiyans, you should hit the red button and then the bell.
On days 67 to 70, it's about time I went to the Nether and settled this. I craft a flint and steel out of materials I found in the caves. Then, I gathered my obsidian blocks and arranged them into the shape of a nether portal. I used the flint and steel to light the obsidian, and boom! The Nether awaits. Not too far from the other side of the portal was a giant coliseum over a huge lake of lava. Of course, it had to be close, since a Baraka was kidnapping warriors from nearby. But I never would have found it if I wasn't in the Nether. I guess me and the tribal gremlin are even now, since he gave me the hint about this place. Don't worry, Charles, I'm on my way. I made my way toward the Colosseum and found that it was guarded by a pair of zombie Spartans. No doubt the undead remains of warriors that had faced their demise in the Dark Wizard's arena. But they weren't going to stop me. Thorn Shooter, go! Blam, blam, blam! With a few whacks of my diamond sword, I knocked them down for good. On days 71 to 74, I stepped into the Colosseum, only to be surrounded by a cheering crowd of skeletons in the stands. The arena itself was empty, except for another fighter who was standing not so far away from me. He looked really tough, too.
Are you my next opponent?
I'm Zozo, and I've come to rescue my friend Charles the Viking.
I don't know who that is, but I have heard of you, Zozo. Long have I dreamed of fighting a Saiyan warrior.
There's no talking you out of this, huh?
Of course not. I am willing to fight any worthy opponent until the end, and that goes for you too.
The Aztec warrior ran towards me and attacked. He was strong, so I took some damage. I had to play this smart, so I flew into the air and shot him with the thorn shooter a couple of times. Then I landed behind him and hit him with a punch. I drew my diamond sword, and the two of us faced off.
You fight as well as the legends of your people suggest, Zozo.
I don't understand. Isn't Goku here? If you wanted to fight a Saiyan, why don't you fight him?
There is no Goku here. I would have remembered facing another Super Saiyan before you.
But Charles said there was a guy in an orange robe.
I did face such an adversary, but he was no Saiyan. If he was, I probably would have been defeated, like I have been defeated now.
And with that, the Aztec warrior fell. No more time for arena battles. I had to go find Charles. On days 75 to 78, I went to the barracks below the Colosseum and found Charles down there among the prisoners.
Zozo, thank goodness. I knew you'd come to rescue me.
Let's go home, Charles. I've done my share of fighting in this arena, and I say we don't give the Dark Wizard any more satisfaction. We ran backwards towards the arena, but as misfortune would have it, there was an ambush waiting for us. The champion Colossus stood ready to take us on. Well, take me on anyway. Did you think I was gonna have Charles fight this guy? Get behind me, Charles. It's time for Super Saiyan Blue Zozo to show the champion Colossus who the strongest fighter in the world is.
Strongest fighter in the world? Well, that would be me. This isn't the first tournament that the Dark Wizard of Baraka has held. I was the winner of the last one, and he let me go in return for becoming his eternal servant.
That's a sad story, but you're no match for me. I'm stronger than any warrior here. You can't beat me.
We shall see. On guard, Zozo the Saiyan.
The champion Colossus was definitely the strongest enemy I had fought up until this point, but there was no way I'd let him beat me. Too much was on the line. I reached for another pocket of sand, but I was out. Oh no! The champion Colossus hit me hard and sent me flying. Literally flying, because I can fly.
Is that all you've got, Zozo?
Leave Zozo alone, you big jerk.
Charles rushed in for a surprise attack, but it was all in vain. The champion Colossus hit him once, and he was struck down on the spot. Charles! I wouldn't let Charles throw his life away for nothing. I hit the champion Colossus with my diamond sword over and over until finally he collapsed. He was defeated.
Good job, Zozo. You avenged me.
Charles, you're gonna be fine.
I was destined for Valhalla the moment I was captured. You are a true warrior. It's always been you. Take care of yourself, Zozo.
And with that, Charles was gone. I made my way out of the arena and back towards my nether portal. On day 79 to 84, I was still in the nether when I heard the wicked laughter of the Dark Wizard of Baraka echo behind me.
I've finally done it.
What is it now? I turned and saw the Dark Wizard had grown to a massive size, and he was brimming with power. Holy moly, what happened to you? He cruelly stared down at me like I was an ant he was about to step on.
Now that all the greatest fighters in the world have perished in my arena, I, Dark Wizard of Baraka, have been able to absorb their martial arts and become master of magic and might. I am now the perfect being.
You're not perfect. You're not even close. You just stole the strength of a bunch of other people. You don't deserve to have their power, especially if you had to destroy them for it.
It is not for you to decide what I deserve. I have become a true warrior, and that means that all I need now is the will to triumph. Compared to that, what do you have, Saiyan, with that meager power you've gathered?
Maybe I'll never be the strongest, but at least I know who I am. I'm Zozo, a Super Saiyan, a Z-Fighter, and a truer warrior than you'll ever be.
You'll be nothing once I've destroyed you for good.
He stepped forward with the stolen power of all the fallen warriors. I knew I couldn't fight him just yet, so I turned and ran through my nether portal. As soon as I got to the other side, I used my diamond sword to break the portal, trapping the Dark Wizard in the netherworld. That should hold him for now. On days 85 to 89, I told the others at the base that Charles didn't make it back. They understood what it meant. He was in Valhalla and at peace. What mattered now was making sure that Baraka paid dearly for all the warriors he had sacrificed to gain his dark power.
Hey Zozo, Stu knows how bad you must feel about the rescue mission, so Stu decided to cheer you up by giving you a powerful new weapon.
This will definitely help you defeat the Dark Wizard.
Stu gave me a banana bazooka, which was many times more powerful than my thorn shooter. This would be my new ranged weapon. Thanks, Stu.
Like Stu always says, bananas make everything better.
Later on, I completed the statue of King Vegeta, finally adding the diamond blocks he deserved to his armor. Nice! I had a feeling that the Dark Wizard would be on his way soon, so I went to seek the advice of the tribal gremlin. TG, I need your help.
The true warrior has finally arrived.
What?
I'm speaking about you, Zozo. You went down to that Colosseum and fought and returned. That means that you are now the strongest fighter in the world. You are the champion who must set things right.
What can I do? Baraka still has so much power.
You have power too. You just need to awaken it. There is a great waterfall behind the high cliffs. If you train there, you will be able to unlock your full potential.
On days 90 to 94, I followed the tribal gremlin's advice and sought out the great waterfall. The cliffs were really steep, so I had to use my flying abilities to climb up them. It's a good thing I still don't take any damage when I fall. Thinking back, this was the place I started my journey almost 100 days ago. It was remarkable to think how much I'd done in all that time. I had made friends, won battles, and even traveled to a whole different dimension. It was crazy. There were many waterfalls around this area, but somehow my spirit could tell which one would actually unlock my full potential. I trained my skills with both my sword and my punches, and I could feel myself growing stronger by the day. This is it. I'm going to become the true warrior I was always meant to be. At one point, a few giant lizards attacked me and tried to interrupt my training, but I saw this as another test of my power, and I fought them all off. The banana bazooka that Stu gave me was an excellent weapon for dealing with enemies at a distance. Of course, my melee attacks worked just as well. I will be the one who defeats the Dark Wizard. Me, Zozo, I've got this. When I finally reached the last day of training, I knew that I was the most powerful that I had ever been. A magical halo appeared in my inventory when it was over, probably to show that I had achieved my potential. On days 95 to 97, I was at the base when the coyotes told me that they had found another portal to the Nether, deep in an emerald cave across the desert. It must have been the same portal that the Dark Wizard used to take Charles back to the Nether when the one in the fortress of the Colossus was destroyed. Without a doubt, the Dark Wizard would be using that portal to re-enter the world and wreak havoc. I wasn't about to let that happen though, and prepared to meet him there and settle our score. But first, I had to enchant my gear and put the finishing touches on my base. Using the diamonds and obsidian from the lava caves, I crafted a few enchanted books and gave my diamond armor the Thorns enchantment. It would sacrifice durability, but in exchange, those who hit me would suffer damage. By now, I had enough green dye from the cactus blocks that I was able to make a green carpet across all the floors of the inside of the building. There were now enough bananas and prickly pears to feed an entire village, and with the help of the tribal gremlin, I was able to plant a lovely garden in the shadow of the King Vegeta statue. This place was now the perfect gym for martial artists and warriors everywhere to come and train, and I'd make sure that the world would be safe enough for them to do so. On day 98, I got some last-minute training in with the tribal gremlin. As a fellow warrior, I respected everything he had done for me until now. I promise when I return, nobody will have to worry about the Dark Wizard ever again. Please cheer for me in the comments and let me know what character you want to see me play as next. Tomorrow would be the test of whether or not I was a true warrior, so I spent the rest of the day getting ready. It was almost time for the final battle. On day 99, I was in the Emerald Cave, standing in front of the Nether portal, when the Dark Wizard finally stepped through.
Zozo, this is a surprise. You ran from me last time.
Never again. I'm going to stop you right here. If you don't want to fight, then go back to the Nether and leave us alone.
What fun would that be? I need to be on this side of the portal, where weaklings like you live.
That's where you're wrong, Baraka. I'm no weakling. I'm a true warrior, and I use my power to protect people. You will go no further. I fired the banana bazooka a few times to slow the Dark Wizard down. As he got closer, I drew my sword and attacked.
You think you could beat me in that form? Pathetic Saiyan.
His attacks were pretty strong, but my thorn enchantment did damage back to him.
Oh, clever trick, but it won't be enough.
Maybe you're right, Dark Wizard. But then again, this isn't even my final form. I started up the halo and allowed the power of my potential to flow through me. My spirit awakened one last time and gave me the power to become Ultra Ego Vegeta. 100 hearts, full power, here we go. I will not let you destroy this world. With my new Ultra Fists, I punched the Dark Wizard over and over. This is for Charles! The Dark Wizard tried to strike back, but in Ultra Ego mode, the more damage I take, the more damage my attacks dealt.
No, All my power! It's being used against me!
It's not your power, but this is mine. With one decisive blow, I punched the Dark Wizard into space dust. Sayonara! The battle was now over. On day 100, I found Stu training with the tribal gremlin in the gym to become a stronger fighter. I guess he really looks up to the Saiyans after all, and all that true warrior talk set a positive example. There's nothing wrong with having a martial arts student, but I guess I wasn't expecting I'd become the master at the end of my journey. I'll be on guard here at the base while I train Stu and anyone else who shows up, because after all, there will always be people like the Dark Wizard who misuse power. From here on out, I'm going to make sure that the power is in the hands of true warriors.
On day 1, I spawned as a baby hoglin. Oh, I'm pretty adorable. But I only had 3 hearts. I was small, but I had a super strong sense of smell. I could smell everything I was seeing. Whoa! Great rivers of fire. I'm in the nether. Cool. Oh, look, there's a group of hoglins. That must be my family. I went over to them. They were nice and shared their crimson fungi with me. Life couldn't have been better. That is until a hungry illager came looking for some bacon.
Run for cover, little Zozo. We'll take care of this. You're too small for battle.
But I want to stay and fight.
Leave it to the real warriors, you shroom sniffer.
Bebop, knock it off. He just likes to pick on other hoglins. He's a bit of a bully. You will join us one day, but not today. You must grow bigger first. Now hurry, before they turn you into lunch.
Sir, yes, sir. I ran as fast as my little hooves could go when suddenly I was covered in purple smoke. I had no clue what was happening. Suddenly, I was dropped near a river in a green field with blue skies. This didn't look anything like my home. Where am I? I looked around and saw a squirrel with sunglasses on.
Bro, you just dropped out of the sky. For real, for real.
I don't know where I am. This isn't the nether.
No, little dude, this is the overworld. You must have gone through a portal or something. All I know, bro, is it got all purpley and then poof, there you were, dude.
I was so confused. I didn't know what the squirrel was saying, and I didn't know how I got into the overworld.
Whoa, bro, something's up.
I started to see red, blinking red. I felt weird. Something was happening to me. I was changing.
You're going zombie, my dude.
Zombie? The blinking red stopped, and I could tell my whole body looked different. You could see my bones, and my mane had gone flat. Oh no, I'm a ZOGLIN now. What will my family think? How will they want me back now? I guess it's kind of cool to be a zombie.
100%, my dude. It's the gnarly bones for me.
Well, any ideas what I should do now?
My guess is to find a portal to take yourself home. I bet you could find one in the forest. Just be careful out there, little guy. Here, take this.
He handed me a potion of strength.
Only use it when you're really in a jam. Good luck, bro. I gotta go gather my nuts I dropped when you popped out of the sky.
Thank you, Mr.
Call me Squeaks.
Thanks, Squeaks. It was nice to meet a cool squirrel like you. He hopped away and I started towards the forest, passing by a river. My thoughts were suddenly interrupted by a shark that popped out of the river behind me. Luckily, I jumped out of the way just in time. Someone was feeling bitey today. I then continued making my way into the forest. On day 2, I wandered through the forest to find a portal. I wasn't sure where to go next, but that's when I remembered my nose never failed me. Even though I was a zombie, my nose was just as powerful. I took a whiff around. That's an interesting smell. I followed my nose to a llama eating some berries. I decided to ask her if she had seen the portal, but she just ignored me. Hey, I'm talking to you. The llama turned and spit right in my snout. Okay, you're asking for some drama, llama. I wasn't going to let her get away with spitting in my face. I ran at her full speed and attacked. Unfortunately, I was too weak to do any damage. I didn't even have a weapon.
Oh, how sad. Why don't you cry? Wee, all the way home, little Zoglin. You're much too small to be on your own.
Really cool picking on someone smaller than you. Listen, I'd love to go home, but my home is in the nether, and I can't get home without a portal.
Oh, the nether. I heard they have great crimson fungi there.
Yeah, they do. I pulled out a crimson fungi and flashed it at her.
Okay, kid, fine. I'll tell you where a portal is if you let me have that.
How do I know you aren't lying?
You'll just have to trust me.
You spit in my face, and you want me to trust you? Tell you what, I'll give you one now and one later if you take me to the portal. She thought it over and finally agreed to the deal.
The last portal I saw was up ahead at a waterfall.
I threw her a mushroom and she chomped down on it.
A little spicy with some smoky flavor. I like it. All right, come on, follow me.
On day 3, we came to a clearing, and up ahead was a glistening waterfall against a big cliff.
There it is. The portal is up ahead. This is where we part. Time to hand over the other half of that mushroom.
I handed her the rest of my mushroom, and she gulped it down.
You know, kid, you're not so bad.
You're not so bad yourself, llama. Thank you for showing me the way.
Well, let's not get all mushy. Good luck, and try not to get in any more trouble.
The llama trotted off into the forest, and I headed towards the waterfall. It was so beautiful that I forgot to pay attention to my surroundings. Out popped a snake from the
the long grass. Mind if I slither on by? I guess the snake did mind. The snake was trying to strike me, but I was determined to get to the portal. I didn't have a weapon, but I had my tusks, and I was bigger than the snake. I hit him good and hard, knocking him out. Your history, snake. As he disappeared, I saw he left behind eggs. Oh, nice. I better hold on to these. The portal was just up ahead. I could see it now. Unfortunately, I could also see a pack of wolves. Please, I don't want any trouble. I just need to get back home through that portal. I can pay you in eggs?
The Horned Enderman has commanded all Zoglins to be taken to him. You're coming with us.
Just then, a bunch of skulls came shooting at the pack of wolves. The wolves backed up, but stayed close, guarding the portal.
Come with me if you wish to live.
This dude was a little creepy looking. I'm sorry, who and what are you?
I'm a wither. My name is Smithers. Now come on, those wolves are going to try and take you to the Horned Enderman. We have to get you out of here.
I have no clue what you're talking about, but I don't want to be eaten by wolves. So yeah, let's go. On days 4 to 5, I followed Smithers into the shadows of the jungle.
You need to make some weapons, little Zoglin. Now is a good time. After that, I have a quest for you. I need you to find the Mushroom Field Islands. Only a special hoglin can find them.
But I'm trying to get home. I need to get to the portal.
If you find these islands, I will help get you home. For now, all the portals are being guarded. I think you are the Zoglin the Horned Enderman is searching for.
Me? You got the wrong Zog. I'm just your average ham.
Yeah, you might not be special, but we shall see.
How will I know the way to the Mushroom Island?
Follow your nose. If you really are the chosen one, you will have extra strong smelling powers.
With that, Smithers flew away. It left me with a million questions. And what was that about smelling powers? I always had a good nose, but no, I couldn't be the one they were looking for. One thing was for sure, I needed to be able to defend myself. I started mining wood, stone, and coal. Then I made myself a crafting table. After that, I made a bow, an axe, a sword, and a pickaxe. Take a look at me now. All will tremble before me. Just as I was really getting into being dramatic, I caught the scent of something nearby. I wasn't alone. I looked up and noticed eyes staring back at me. An ocelot jumped down from the tree. He crouched, getting ready to pounce. Easy, little kitty. You wouldn't want to eat me. I'm rotten and don't taste good. But the truth was, I was scared. Those claws were no joke. How would I ever be able to win this fight? Oh wait, the potion! I quickly pulled out my potion of strength that Squeak gave me and drank it. I grew a little bigger and got extra hearts. It's a good thing I met that weird squirrel. The ocelot pounced as I tried to get out of the way. We kept swinging at each other until I was able to push him out of the way. Luckily, I noticed that there were some arrows nearby. I guess an explorer left them here. I hurried and got on my bow and then started firing. It didn't take too many hits and I was able to take him out. So much for cats having 9 lives. Just then, my nose picked up a different scent on the tree. Cocoa pods. Oh, these would be great for making a color or a snack for later. It was then that I could hear a crunching sound coming from somewhere in the jungle. I decided to follow the sound. I rounded some trees and saw a thicket of bamboo. It wouldn't be a bad idea to collect some of that. The crunching continued and I soon saw a panda relaxing on the ground, enjoying some bamboo. I hope he wouldn't mind if I took some for myself. Hey there, I'm Zozo. Could I take some of that bamboo? The panda looked up at me and shrugged, then went back to munching. Sweet, that was easy. It was definitely a relief to come across an adorable animal that didn't want to attack me. I mined a good portion of the bamboo, but made sure to leave some for the panda. I was very excited about my new supplies. Goodbye, Mr. Panda. Thanks for the bamboo. On days 6 to 8, I decided I liked the jungle so much that I'd take a couple days to go jungle glamping. After all, who knew if that wither was even trustworthy? The mushroom fields could wait. I sniffed around for a good spot and went to sleep in a cavern. Later, I woke up and decided to explore some more. Hey, check it out, a wild patch of pumpkins. I'm pumped. This would be a cool spot to build my glamping base with my bamboo. I'm thinking a yurt would be cool. I even found some melon seeds while cutting down plants. I trotted happily to the patch and began to make my jungle yurt. This would be a great little place to sleep and hide from mobs. Once I had the outside done, I put some finishing touches inside, including some jungle plants. Then I put a little fence around the pumpkin farm, melon farm, and my yurt. I also built a small melon and pumpkin farm outside. Yurt, sweet yurt. Ouch! Something had just hit me. A monkey was in a tree. He was throwing stuff at me. Hey, knock it off!
As you wish. I'll knock all the blocks off your little house thingy.
It's a yurt, you uncultured baboon. Now stop! The monkey didn't stop. He just wanted to be naughty and aggravate me. Alright, enough monkey business. I grabbed my bow and fired a warning shot. The monkey screeched and swung off the tree. Hopefully he had learned his lesson. With the monkey gone, I could focus on some much needed dinner. Pumpkin chocolate bean cookies sounded good. I'd better hurry. It was getting late and mobs would be showing up. I crafted the cookies and went outside to enjoy the mood. Hey, this is pretty peaceful. It's just me, the trees, these pumpkins, and that horned enderman over there. A horned enderman! A very tall horned enderman was staring at me from outside the fence.
Well, hello, little Zoglin, without a care. I am the Horned Enderman. No need to fear.
You're that evil enderman trying to capture all the Zoglins, and you probably are the one who teleported me here.
I searched for the perfect Zoglin, but as for this teleportation, that is the wrong accusation.
You're very poetic for an evil jerk.
And you are very cheeky for a Zog who is not very beefy. You are coming with me. Do not try and flee.
Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. There's nothing that won't make me win. Oh, look at that. He even got me rhyming. I whipped out my bow and shot shot at him, but he teleported and suddenly was right next to me. I pulled out my sword and tried to attack him with that, but it was no use. The Enderman punched me so hard that I was stunned. There was no way I could do anything to fight this guy. Just as I lost all hope, the Enderman was hit with a big rock in the head. Something kept hitting the Enderman with all sorts of objects. Eventually he got fed up and teleported away. There was that crazy monkey sitting on the roof of my yurt. Whoa, you saved me. You chased the Enderman away by being annoying. Most impressive. I think we started off on the wrong foot. Would you like some pumpkin cookies? The monkey liked that idea and threw a banana at my head playfully.
Aren't you glad I didn't throw a rock?
What a silly monkey. I'm glad he decided to come back after all. Soon the monkey left, and I went to sleep. On days 9 to 10, I thought I'd sniff around to see if the mushroom field was anywhere nearby. I set off around the jungle. I didn't smell mushroom fields, but I did smell a village nearby. I figured I could sniff it out. Maybe there would be some shops. I exited the jungle and kept sniffing and walking until I finally found a village. I walked into the village, and all the villagers were looking at me. They didn't seem too excited about me being there. I walked into a shop, and the shopkeeper didn't want to sell me anything. He said ZOGLINs were dangerous to have around because it might bring the horned Enderman's cronies around. Man, this Enderman is ruining everything for me. I was about to leave the village when a chicken went flapping past me. The villagers were upset. They chased the chicken around, but it got away and ran out of the village.
She is gone. The heavenly hen has left us. We will be cursed.
Hey, maybe I can help.
You? What are you going to do besides bring the orange Enderman around these parts?
I've got a very sharp-smelling nose. I can follow her scent and track her down.
Very well. Find the heavenly hen.
Okay, but if I do, I get to pick some things out of your shops for free, okay?
Fine. Whatever you want. Please hurry. And whatever you do, don't look her in the eyes. And don't threaten her, or you will regret it.
Okay, that's strange, but fine, I won't. I had seen some really cool armor in the shop, but I probably couldn't afford it, so this was a good deal for me. I headed back towards the jungle to find the chicken. On days 11 to 13, I trotted toward the jungle mountains. I climbed up a hill covered in foliage. It was kind of hard to see, so I started chopping down some of the jungle leaves. Whoa! Oof! The leaves were so thick, I didn't see the quarry below my feet. Oh no, I disturbed a nest of scorpions. Yuck, these guys were nasty. I'm in a real pinch. I tried to tell them that I meant no harm, but they were not going to leave me alone. I did not want to get stung. I swung my sword to get them to back off. Yikes, that was a close one. I jumped above them and pulled my bow out, hitting a few of them. I wanted to just get out of there, but the problem was, I smelled the chicken down there. Maybe she got eaten, but it was just then that I saw a mine shaft below. Maybe the chicken had hidden inside there. I'd have to take these guys out. One by one, I finished them off, except for one. It was gold, and turned out to not be a scorpion at all. It was a scorpion-sized gold statue. I decided to enter the mine shaft and check the statue out. On day 14 to 16, I was inside the mine shaft and had a smell around. It didn't just smell like chicken, there was something else too. Oh, jackpot, so many resources, but most importantly, iron. Something was a little creepy about this place. Okay, Zozo, ignore the creepy feeling and just keep mining, just keep mining. After that amazing song, I created a crafting table and furnaces to smelt the iron I just collected. I had enough iron that I could craft myself some iron armor and tools really quick. Something told me I was going to need it. I continued deeper into the cave to find the chicken. Hold up, what's that? I pulled my axe out. It was a spider. But wait, it was another gold statue. What is going on here? I just need to find this chicken and get the creep out of here. Soon enough, from the shadows, crawled a mob of spiders. I knew my spidey senses were tingling. They weren't deterred. They just kept coming. One of the spiders hit me good. It was a big hit. I swung around like crazy and finished off all of the spiders. He left behind a bunch of webs, a crafting table, an iron sword, and some arrows and a slime ball. I guess some explorers must have left in a hurry. I collected them all and made a lead out of some of them. I kept walking down into the cave and eventually saw some lava. Across from the lava was that crazy chicken. You are lucky you aren't fried chicken by now. The chicken stared at me with angry eyes. My body felt weird. I suddenly remembered what the villager said about not staring at the chicken in its eyes. I tried not to look directly at it and started making a bridge across the lava over to the chicken. Listen, Miss Hen, I'm just trying to help you. I've got some cookies for you. I'll give you some if you follow me out of here. She didn't say anything because she was a chicken, but I assumed she was okay with this. She ate them and then followed me across my bridge. Well, that worked out. Come on, let's get you home. Everyone is worried about you. On days 17 to 19, we had made it out of the cave and were on our way back through the jungle when the ground under my feet felt funny. It was so soft and squishy. Then I realized I was sinking. It was blue quicksand. Help! The chicken just stared at me blankly. She was no help.
Quack, what's wrong?
It was a group of parrots. I'm sinking.
Quack, what are you thinking about?
Oh, I see what you did there. Okay, might have been about to die, but that was pretty punny. Nice one.
Thanks, we have been working on the stand-up routine.
Neat. Well, I'm thinking about how I need help getting out of here.
We have this sinking feeling you are in some real trouble, but what can be done?
Do you think you could pull me out of this quicksand with my lead? The quicksand had almost swallowed me up by this point.
Sure thing, hand us the lead.
They were able to pull me out just in time. Phew, that was a close one. Thank you for saving my life.
Quack, no problem.
I was just escorting this chicken home.
Quack, quack, what chicken?
I looked around and the hen was gone again. Oh no! I told the parrots thank you, but had to run off to find her. I followed followed my nose. She was close, but so was an ocelot. Look out, chicken! The chicken stared at the ocelot with angry eyes. I took out my sword, but before I could do anything, the ocelot turned to solid gold. Did you do that, Miss Hen? I can see why you're so special now. She pecked at the ground. Come on, let's get you back home. On days 20 to 22, a fox was watching us run back to the village and tried to cut us off. Sorry, fox. Trust me, you don't want this chicken for dinner. I ran at him and punted him into the sky. I knew I was doing him a favor, better than dealing with Gold Winger over here. We made it back to the village, and the villagers were super stoked. I was super stoked about picking out some items from the shop.
Our sacred hen has returned. What is your name, Sir Zoglin?
Zozo.
3 cheers for Sir Zozo.
Shucks, I just followed my nose. At the shop, I picked out diamond armor and some TNT. Mission accomplished. With my swanky new treasures in hand, I was ready to go back to my yurt. On the outside of the village, I was stopped by an iron golem who offered me a puppy. He told me his name was Geo. He was a super nice guy. I told him I had to get back to my yurt before it got much later. As I came out to my yurt, it had already gotten dark. Oh, just fantastic. My yurt is swarming with creepers and red-eyed spiders. It's a jungle out here. Time to test out this armor and explosives. The mob saw me and started coming for me, so I ran into the trees. I set the TNT on the ground and then punched it, running for my life. As the mobs came by, the TNT exploded. It didn't kill them all, but it took out a lot. I handled the rest of them with my weapons. With the mobs gone, I trotted back to my yurt. I checked on my melons. They were growing well. I'd harvest them tomorrow and then set out to find that mushroom island, or field, whatever you want to call it. On day 23 to 26, I woke up and went outside. To my surprise, Geo was standing around my garden. Hey there, Geo. How did you find me?
Geo here, Big Boo. Geo come to save Zozo.
That's super nice of you. I tested out some TNT on some mobs. Sorry to worry you. I explained to Geo that I had to go on a mission to find a mushroom island. Geo insisted on accompanying me. He said he could help protect me from the horned enderman. I agreed, then harvested my melons and pumpkins. I took a bite of the melons, and it helped me to grow some more. Ooh, check out these tusks. Then I went inside to get some more materials. After that, we were ready to set off. My nose led us out of the jungle and across some icy plains and glaciers. There were a lot of polar bears. I was relieved Geo decided to join me, because there's no way I'd be able to fend them off by myself. When some of them wanted to give us trouble, we gave them trouble right back. Geo was able to fling them up like pancakes. Hey Geo, wanna build a snowman? I decided I might as well mine some snow while I was there. It might come in handy. I threw together some snow and a pumpkin head to make a snow golem. Geo clapped excitedly.
Snow friend, snow friend.
Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday to you, Ice Golem. My name is Zozo. This is Geo. What's your name?
Burr.
Burr, huh? That checks out.
Play with Burr.
Sure, we can take some time to play. Hey, I know. What if we build a snow fort out of snow?
Play.
Burr, play.
I made a little snow fort and we had a snowball fight. It was very fun, but Geo was a little too strong and hit Burr too hard, and he poofed into a giant pile of snowballs. Don't worry, Geo. Snowmen don't last forever anyways. We collected his snowballs and added them to our supply. At least he could always be with us now, in a weird sort of way. On days 27 to 31, we wandered to the seaside. The smell of Mushroom Island was super strong. I was led to the seashore. We looked out and saw an island with funny red trees. I think that's it, Geo. Now to get over there. I crafted a boat, but it wasn't big enough for Geo to come with me, so Geo agreed to hang out on shore until I came back. As I sailed closer, I realized the red trees were actually giant mushrooms. I started to drool. Someone was on the island already. It was Smithers.
You found me. You truly are the chosen one. Only a Zoglin with the strongest sniffer can find this secret place.
Why does the Enderman want me?
I will explain everything. Let's show you around first.
I ran around the island exploring its resources. This ground was so spongy and bouncy. Oh, look, cows. Wait, those are mushrooms. That gave me an idea. A huge statue would be pretty cool in this field. I gathered up some supplies and started working on the first part of the statue. The cocoa beans would also be perfect for some brown dye. I'd want some red though too. I'd need to get some red flowers on the mainland. Smithers showed me the base he had made. It was a nice little cube. You know, Smithers, this is awesome, but are you okay with me doing some renovations? Just so it's big enough for all of us, including some of my friends I've met along the way.
I mean, this is already a pretty elaborate cube, but okay, I'm cool with it.
Great, I'll start tomorrow. On day 32 to 35, I decided to make the base look like a giant red mushroom with spots. I wonder what gave me that idea. First, I'd need to make the stem. It would be a staircase, and then I could make the top a big mushroom-shaped room with a loft above that for bedrooms. We'd have a nice view of the island while we hung out in the base, and we could keep an eye out for danger too. We wandered around the main area inside. There's so mushroom in here. Get it? Mushroom? Mushroom?
You should stick to sniffing and leave jokes to someone else.
I can't please everyone. Outside, I created an awning for Geo to stand under and keep watch. Our base was ready for action. On day 36 to 39, I went back to shore to get Geo. Once on land, he and I mined
find some flowers and some other things for the base and statue. I smelled something familiar. Hey, I smell another Zoglin. I wanted to follow the scent, so we went looking. I had to see if they were okay. I followed my nose to a pillager base. A fire was roasting, and there sat a Zoglin chained up to a log. The pillager was humming and wandering around the yard. We walked up to the hut. Excuse me, but what are you planning to do with that Zoglin? The pillager nearly jumped out of his skin. He hadn't seen us sneaking up on him.
Geo, kill pillager.
Have at it, Geo.
Geo, smash.
That pillager didn't stand a chance against Geo. Wow, nice going, Geo. And look, there's an emerald on the ground now. I picked it up and put it in my supplies, then walked over to the Zoglin. Hey, my name is Zozo. I could smell you from miles away. I'm here to rescue you.
Thank you. My name is Hogatha. The Horned Enderman sold me his dinner because I wasn't the Zoglin he was looking for.
That's rough. I told Hogatha how to find my base and invited her to meet us up there. She liked that idea. There were voices in the distance. A mob of pillagers came into view. We better get out of here. We don't need that kind of trouble.
Yep, time to run. I'll find you later. Good luck.
On days 40 to 43, I was back at the base, and Geo and Hogatha had joined us. Hogatha added some grass around the base. It was looking pretty gnarly. I went over to the statue and kept adding to it. Things were coming together for this epic statue, but it wasn't done yet. Do you know what it's going to be? I'll have to keep working on it later. Smithers called me into the base meeting room to finally tell me all about what's been going on with this Horned Enderman dude.
It all began with greed.
I could tell a flashback was coming because the music got all dramatic.
Flashback.
Called it.
The Horned Enderman had been taking over the Overworld, enslaving and destroying. He seeks to control this world, and the Nether too. Everyone is afraid of him. He summoned the Witches of Fate. He asked them to reveal the location of a weapon called the Black Trident. It was powerful enough to raise up an army of the undead. They didn't tell him the location. We only know it's somewhere in the ocean. They did give him a prophecy of a Zoglin with a powerful enough nose to sniff out the location of this weapon. But they also said that this Zoglin could be his undoing. I believe that Zoglin is you. I know this because I was there. I was part of the Horned Enderman's close advisors. But I couldn't stand by any longer and see him destroying so many lives. I deserted him and went in search for you myself. We can't let him find that Dark Trident.
I would never lead him to it. If you can get me home, he won't be able to use me.
Fate has brought you here, my boy. You must give in to your destiny. And your destiny is to rise up against the Horned Enderman.
I've run into him before. I couldn't defeat him. I have no idea how to do that. I just want to find a cure for my zombie form and go home.
You will find a way.
This was a lot to take in. I wasn't sure how I felt about it all. Of course I wanted to help, but how? Thanks for telling me all about it. I need to do some thinking outside. I went on a walk around the mushroom field at night to think about everything. The mushrooms were grazing in the field with their babies. Hogatha came and joined me.
You okay?
Not really.
Want to talk about it?
I just don't know what to do. I don't know how to fight Endermen at all, let alone an ultimate Enderman bad guy.
I know that Endermen don't like water. Maybe that can help.
That is something. I was hoping I could just cure myself and get home. Do you have a family, Hogatha?
No, the Horned Enderman took them all. It's just me now.
I'm sorry to hear that. I guess he really does need to be stopped. We sat and looked at the ocean. It was so peaceful to watch the waves and smell the mushroom aroma. Hey, do you see that light out there? I could make out a small roof on the mainland. There was purple smoke coming from the chimney, just like I had seen when I teleported here. Maybe it was where the witches lived. Maybe they could help me. I decided to go investigate in the morning. On day 44 to 49, I got into my boat and set sail across to the hut. It didn't take too long to find it in the daylight. The purple smoke smelled just like when I teleported. This had to be the witch's cottage. I made my way up the stairs. I knocked and there was some scuffling around inside, and then the door opened and a wand was shoved into my face.
Who are you and what do you want?
I'm looking for the Witches of Fate. Is this their cottage?
Of course it's not. This is my cottage.
Who are you?
I am Flimflam, the mediocre wizard. So don't try any funny business or I'll turn you into a mediocre newt.
Did you by chance cast a spell recently that could teleport someone from the Nether to the Overworld?
How did you know that? Bless my soul, my spell did work. You're the Zoglin I summoned and then promptly lost.
I think you better explain some things to me. The mediocre wizard let me into his hut. He had all sorts of magical looking items. He then suddenly shot his wand at the wall. I turned around and saw a call to action. An action to subscribe, that is. Which you should do. And also search for more of my videos. Zozo. Z-O-Z-O. Anyway, Mr. Mediocre, you were explaining something?
So you see, I knew I needed to get to you before the Horned Enderman did. I admit that although I've been practicing magic for a long time, well, I mess up a lot. So I found this spell to get you over here, but then I wasn't sure if it worked because you never showed up.
It worked, but you dropped me into a random place in the overworld. I wish you wouldn't have done that. I used to be a handsome hoglin. Now look at me.
Oh my, yes, I can see what you mean. But you know, there's a cure for that.
There is?
Of course. I know it takes a golden carrot and something else. I can't remember off the top of my head.
And if you got me here, you can get me back home, right?
Of course, but I brought sent you here for a reason. We need to find the Dark Trident before the Horned Enderman does.
If I help defeat him, can you cure me and send me home?
You got yourself a deal.
I was so glad I was finally getting answers. All this excitement really tuckered me out. I asked the wizard if I could sleep off some of my exhaustion. He was cool with it. On days 50 to 53, I looked around the wizard's hut and saw so many magic potions and wands.
I see you are admiring my collection of magical objects.
I like your wizard hat too.
Oh yes, this hat is awesome. I can use potions and they last forever. Maybe one day you can get a wizard hat of your own once you've learned some things.
So do you have a plan for how to defeat the Horned Enderman?
Of course, you. And that was as far as I got.
I bet some of your wands and potions will come in handy. Can I try one of your wands? The wizard agreed and selected an ice wand. I was pretty excited and I ran to the water to test it out. Abracafree stuff. I froze the water into ice cubes. I definitely like this idea of learning magic. I think you should come with me and meet our other friends. We have a mushroom base across the way. We can all make a plan. Can I take this wand with me? The wizard agreed, got in his own boat, and we sailed off. As we sailed across, we noticed something splashing on the surface. We got closer and saw it was a mermaid surrounded by a shark.
Looks like it's a good time to use that wand, Zozo.
I jumped out of my boat and jumped on the rock the mermaid was on, and excitedly took out the wand and started pointing it at the water around the shark. The water was turned into ice, and the sharks were frozen in ice cubes. You sharks need to cool it. Are you okay, mermaid? The mermaid came closer to me.
Thank you for helping me out. That was a close one. Who are you guys?
My name is Zozo, and this is Flimflam the wizard. We are just some friends who are trying to stop the Horned Enderman. You probably don't know who that is, huh?
Actually, yeah, I do. Those sharks work for him. They were trying to get me to tell them where the Dark Trident is.
What? Are you serious? That's why they want me too. We were just meeting up on the Mushroom Island to make a plan on how to stop him.
How about I follow you over there? I can team up with you.
That's a great idea. Follow us. We were assembling a pretty epic team. On days 54 to 57, we sailed up to the Mushroom Island. I told the mermaid to wait at the shore and walked up to the base. I introduced Flimflam to the group. Smithers and Flimflam were both suspicious of each other at first, but after some explaining, they both realized they were on the same side. I took some time to break away from the group and work some more on my statue. I added some good red coloring to it. I was halfway there. I made my way back to the base, and then I heard splashing in the water. I almost forgot about the mermaid. I went and spoke with her at the beach. Her name was Dolphine, but she went by Dolly. Dolly told me about why the sharks were after her. She knew of a portal called the Whirlpool of Want. They wanted the location.
This whirlpool takes you to the Witches of Fate.
I didn't think you could get to them.
That's what they want you to think.
What if you take us to this whirlpool? Maybe we can ask the witches if there's a weapon that can destroy the Dark Trident. Dolly agreed to this plan, and I went and let the team know where I was going. Before we left, I did what I could to make sure my health and weapons were shipshape. I was ready to follow the mermaid to the Whirlpool of Want. On days 58 to 62, we were out in the middle of the ocean when the mermaid pointed ahead.
There it is. Just sail straight into it.
You sure this will work? I didn't want to get stuck at the bottom of this whirlpool. Besides, I hardly knew this mermaid. This could be a trick.
Pretty sure. Here, let me go in ahead of you. Let me see what happens.
She swam right into the whirlpool and it swallowed her up. I waited for a few minutes. The whirlpool started to gurgle and out popped the mermaid. There she blows. Well, it looked like it worked. Onward. I jumped off the ship and into the whirlpool. The whirlpool had a portal at the bottom and it spat me out onto dry land. I was in the end?
And what do we have here? A wayward Zoglin.
A voice cackled from the sky. It seemed to come from all around me.
You seek how to destroy the Dark Trident. We know everything about all of you, but we don't do things out of the kindness of our hearts. We are witches. We make trades. What did you bring to trade?
I panicked. I didn't know I needed to trade something. 3 witches appeared in front of me.
Well, what will it be? If you want the Wand of Weather, you will have to give us something that interests us.
The Wand of Weather? This wand will destroy the Dark Trident?
You bet your little Zoglin britches.
I offered them my wand, my swords, my potions, anything I could think of that seemed really neat, but they didn't want any of it. They already had piles of that stuff. I wonder if they would take something that only has sentimental value. I offered them the poppy that Geo had given me.
A poppy? You have got yourself a deal.
Poof, they disappeared, and in their place was a wand.
We forgot to mention one little thing. Only a true heroic act can activate this wand.
Their voices trailed off. A heroic act? I do those things all the time. That doesn't seem too difficult. I wanted to stick around to sniff around, but suddenly there was a whole mob of zombies headed my way. I ran for the portal and jumped through. On days 63 to 66, I was ejected out of the whirlpool. I told Dolly about everything and then sailed back to our base. There was smoke on the horizon. We got close to the island and saw our base had been attacked. The Horned Enderman must have discovered our base. I jumped out of my boat and made my way to my base entrance where I saw Smithers. I found out that they had kidnapped Hagatha. They thought she was me. No, No, Hagatha, I will rescue you.
I will fly fast and try to find her. You need to continue on your quest. If you can defeat the Horned Enderman, Hagatha will be spared.
I wanted to go with Smithers, but I knew he was right. Smithers would take good care of the situation. He quickly flew away. I was going crazy with worry, so I had to distract myself. Those henchmen had really done a lot of damage. We had so many repairs to make. There was only one way to handle this situation: a rebuilding montage. We upgraded a lot of things and then got started building a moat around the base. Flimflam suggested that we add a water path for Dolly to be able to swim in and out, so we added that too. Afterwards, I stepped back and admired our work. It's amazing what you can do when you're motivated. Just then, I wondered if my statue had been destroyed. I ran over to the field, and luckily it was just how I left it. I finished off the face. Can you tell what it is? I guess it's pretty obvious now, but I still needed to add the pièce de résistance later. On day 67 to 70, I tried out the Wand of Weather, but couldn't get it to do anything. Maybe it only worked around the trident. We had better locate the trident to try and destroy it. I hoped it would work for me. Flimflam appeared behind me and said,
Zozo, you're the one with the magical nose. Where do you think we should go to find the trident?
I closed my eyes and I sniffed the air, focusing on where it could be. All I smell is Hagatha. I'm worried about her.
I'm right here, silly.
Hagatha and Smithers were back. Smithers had found her wandering back to the island. They had let her go after realizing she was the wrong Zoglin, but Hagatha was certain they were tracking her.
We can use that to our advantage. We can have Hagatha stay here as a decoy while you sneak off to get the trident.
I didn't like the idea of potentially putting Hagatha in harm's way, but she insisted on the plan. Everyone else would stay at the base to protect Hagatha. Meanwhile, Dolly and I would go on our quest. I got on my boat and followed the faint scent of the dark trident. We eventually came into a desert with cactus and pyramids on the shore. Dolly pointed out that there were ancient ruins in the water. Perfect spot to find a trident, and I can tell we are close. Just then, my ship started to shake. What was that? I looked over the edge. Dolly, there's a lot of angry noodles wiggling around the water.
I don't think that's a noodle, Zozo. I think it's a giant octopus.
Yikes, we would have to think fast. I shot arrows at it, but that just made it more mad. It hit my boat and busted it. Oh no, he even managed to hit me a few times. He really packed a punch. I would have to swim my way out of this.
I'll use my siren song to lure it away. You head for a cove to hide.
What about you?
I'll be fine. I can outswim these guys.
Dolly started singing and the octopus was put in a trance-like state and started following Dolly. Meanwhile, I booked it for the shoreline. I saw a cove that had a very strong smell coming from it. I knew I was hot on the Trident Trail. Dolly was nowhere to be seen though. I hoped she was okay. The cove wasn't empty though. A pirate ship was there as well. Where there is pirates, there is treasure. I looked around and sure enough, I found not one, but 2 treasure chests. What does this one have? Whoa, it's a Respiration 3 helmet. Now that's convenient. I opened the other one up and it had a heart potion. I moved topside and took it and got 10 more hearts, and I grew into a large-sized Zoglin. Now we're talking. I was ready for some underwater exploration, but Dolly hadn't showed up yet. Well, I hope she can find me. On day 71 to 74, I started to swim through the shallow waters of the cove that led to a watery underground cave. It was very dark. I noticed some obsidian floating around in the cave and picked it up for later. The dark trident had to be around me somewhere. The scent was so strong. I could also smell trouble. I dove under the water to have a look around, but it was so dark. Suddenly, someone grabbed my hooves. Ah! Oh my goodness. It was just Dolly. She had found me. You scared the ham right out of me. I'm glad you're okay though. She held out her hand.
Sorry, Zozo. Look at this. This is a glowstone. It will help light our path.
Awesome. It was so nice having Dolly to help me. She set the glowstone on the floor of the cave, and we could see a little opening. We swam through it. It led into a big space with large wall ruins. There were lots of tall vines growing all over the ruin.
Hey, look.
The dark trident was just sitting on top of a mound of sand. Just then, out popped hordes of drowns. I didn't come this far to be beaten by a bunch of water zombie punks. You're going down. We fought with all our might and wits. We had to win. There were many, but we were mighty. Sure enough, we were able to take care of all of them. Hi Finn, Dolly. We gathered around the trident. I got out my weather wand and nothing happened. We had just defeated all these drowns. That was super heroic. Shouldn't that heroic act have activated the trident?
What are those witches lying?
I don't know.
Well, grab it and let's go. We can try to destroy it some more back at the base.
I was hesitant, but I agreed.
Now that you have obsidian, you can build a portal back home.
Really? That will be awesome. Although, I'm still a Zoglin. We need a cure so I can fit back in at home.
I like you as a Zoglin. I think you look cool.
Thanks, Dolly. I just don't know what my family will think. Suddenly, everything started to shake. I reached and grabbed the trident. We had to get out of here. We swam back through the hole in the cavern wall and back up to the surface, and then back to the mouth of the cove. Everything was crumbling. We barely made it out in time. On days 75 to 78, I sailed back to our base. I thanked Dolly for all of her help, and she told me she needed to return to her kingdom before her family started to worry. I'll never forget you, Dolphine. At the mushroom base, I peeked through the window and saw my friends had finished my statue for me while I was gone. It looked great. It was a mushroom with a pumpkin on top to remember Burr by. You guys are the best. After that, we all gathered around the trident. I needed to destroy this thing quickly. I tried the wand again. Nothing. I've done so many heroic things. Why wasn't it working? I pointed it at the sky and thought about my awesome friends and how brave they always were. This time it jiggled a little, a few clouds came out and made it rain a tiny bit. Well, that was something.
You'll get the hang of this in time, Zozo. I believe in you.
I was so distracted distracted by the wand that it took me a while to notice the strong odor of evil floating into the base. The horned enderman had to be near. I picked up the trident, started sniffing around, and went into my base. On day 79 to 84, I looked outside our window. A bunch of endermen surrounded our base gate, and there was the horned enderman standing there. You have got to be kidding me.
Little Zog, let me in, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your base in.
That dude is terrifying, even when he speaks in rhymes. I'm going to start building that portal, and maybe we can take the trident to the nether.
You escape with the trident. I'll fight them off.
Smithers ran out of the room. I built and lit the nether portal.
You can't do this alone.
Agatha joined him to fend off the base. I thought to myself and decided not to run. I had to be a hero if I wanted this wand to work. I told Flimflam to guard the trident. I pulled my sword out and ran out as well. After fighting for a bit, I swapped my sword out for the bow and started shooting. With each arrow I fired, the enderman teleported away. But suddenly, they charged me, and I took a big hit. Ouch! I started swinging my sword, and I did my best to take them all out. At long last, all of the endermen were defeated. Where was the horned enderman, though? I noticed he wasn't around. I looked up into the mushroom base windows, and there he was. He was in the room with Flimflam and the trident. Oh no! Smithers, the trident! Smithers flew up where they were. By the time I got there, Flimflam had been injured, and Smithers was facing off with the horned enderman. With ease, the horned enderman grabbed the trident and teleported out of the base. Smithers followed him outside, and I did too.
The dark trident can only work with a heart of pure evil. Watch as I turn this thing lethal.
With that, the horned enderman hit Smithers with the dark trident. No, how could he? I pulled out the wand of weather and pointed it at the trident. Storm clouds gathered and it started to rain pretty hard, but it didn't seem to do anything to the trident. The rain did, however, scare off the horned enderman since he teleported away. With the enemy gone, I ran to Smithers' side.
This is the end for me. Promise me you'll stop him.
Then Smithers disintegrated, leaving behind a nether star. I was so sad and picked up the nether star. I placed it down at the entrance of the house. It would forever shine bright on us, as Smithers did. On days 85 to 89, Agatha and I went through the portal to the nether. We knew time was short. The horned enderman would be marching through with his undead army at any moment. We landed in the Crimson Forest. Welcome to my homeland.
Wow, everything is so hot and spicy looking here.
Home, sweet and spicy home. I miss the smell of lava. We started to walk around a bit when suddenly a mob of piglins was coming toward us. Well, looks like it's never a dull moment. Let's kick some hams. We used our arrows, swords, and strength to take down the mob. We continued exploring the nether for a bit until we got to the edge of a cliff. The lava was hot below us. I carefully laid down dirt to get across. I noticed more piglins coming at us, so I broke off a brick of the block bridge so they couldn't follow us.
Well, that was a very lava-hot welcome. Where's your family?
They aren't far. I can smell them. On days 90 to 94, I heard some low oinking. It was my family. They were munching on fungi, as usual. Hey, you guys, I'm back. Who the oink are you? Oh, great. It was Bebop, the bully. It's me, Zozo. I look a little different now. I'm bigger and
freakish looking. You're not one of us anymore.
I just returned from the Overworld, so I got zombified. But I'm still Zozo, and these are my friends. We have come to warn you.
Warn us about what? Are you threatening us? You think you could just disappear one day and then come back and act all tough? That's it. No one threatens us.
No, I'm not threatening. Bebop came charging at me. I put my head down and got ready to return his blow. I hit Bebop a lot, and he simply backed off. I'm bigger and stronger than you now, Bebop. Time to stop picking on others, or I'm gonna have to teach you another lesson. I told the rest of the Zoglin family what I'd been up to and where I went. These are my friends. They've been helping me. You see, we got a weapon that can stop this evil dude from coming here and destroying everything. He's known as the Horned Enderman. Bebop must not have learned his lesson because he butted in.
We will never believe you. You're just a bunch of freaks.
I'd much rather be a freak than a boring old piece of bacon. I pity you. You can't see past your own snotty snout. I used to worry about what you all would think of me as a Zoglin, but now I don't care. I'm proud of who I am on the inside and out. My friends taught me that. You can either show respect for me and my friends, or you and I can settle this again, for good. Hog to Zog. I pulled out my wand of weather. It was suddenly glowing and surging with energy. I had been heroic by standing up for myself and my friends, even against my own kind. I was done being ashamed of what I looked like. I loved my zombie self. I held the wand into the air and created rain in the nether.
Okay, I'm sorry. I won't pick on you or anyone else. Please make it stop.
I put the wand away and the crazy weather stopped. It was all the proof the Zoglins needed. On days 95 to 98, we decided we would make a big hill with a fortress on top so we could have the high ground. Flimflam also came over from the Overworld and insisted on making me wear his wizard's hat. It would keep my health up even after being attacked. Our hill fortress was looking pretty cool, and we were able to recruit some other nether mobs. We got mobs of piglins and wither skeletons. We set up inside the fort. It was then that the sky opened a portal and outpoured all sorts of undeads, drowned necromancers, skeletons, zombies, zombified piglins, and husks. Fight hard and stay safe. We just need to stay alive long enough until I can attack the trident. The ZOGLINs attacked with their tusks to punt them away into the lava. The mutant piglins used their quality swords to cut them down. The mutant husks smashed with their fists. We were all fighting hard, but still, some of our allies didn't survive. I needed to find the horned enderman. The longer this went on, the more deaths there would be. The hordes of undead just kept coming too. But we fought with all of our might. After defeating some of the undead creatures, the piglin commander gave me a health potion. I drank it and my hearts leveled up. I got 20 hearts, and then I became even bigger. I couldn't lie, I looked pretty intimidating. After that, we returned to the fort. On day 99, I heard something happen at the portal again and ran out. The horned enderman finally emerged from the portal. Horned enderman, you are going down.
What are you going to do? Sprinkle me with water? Oh no, how will I ever survive such hullabaloo? Ha! See my mighty undead army. This world is doomed. There is no way to disarm me.
Go ahead and laugh, but this is for Smithers. He threw the trident at me, breaking my armor. He was terribly powerful.
Thank you for bringing me this trident. I think this is a death well spent.
I heard my friends shout, and they came to my side. For Smithers! Their chant brought me strength. I shot the wand into the air. For Smithers! It started to rain. Thunder boomed loudly, and there was a mighty zap. A powerful bolt of lightning struck the trident. The horned enderman exploded, and the trident shattered. We did it! Just like that! The wand had worked! We all cheered and celebrated. On day 100, after we had finished celebrating and honoring those who had fallen, I had to figure out what I was going to do with the rest of my ZOGLIN years. I said goodbye to my family and promised to come home every Sunday for Crimson Dinner. I would be the ZOGLIN Wizard of the newly named Smither Island. But in the meantime, I would study more magic and defend the weak, always keeping a balance to good and evil. And most of all, I'd spread heroic courage, a love for others and oneself, freakish looks and all. I knew Smithers would be proud.
On day 1, I spawned in as a rabbit. Oh no, I only have 1 heart. I'm gonna have to be really careful if I'm gonna survive. But check it out, I can jump high and I'm super fast. I took a look around and I could see there were tons of other bunny friends around. But suddenly, they all ran away. Hey guys, what's going on? Just then, a fox appeared. That must be why the other bunnies ran away. I had to be careful. If that fox landed just 1 hit on me, I was done for. Luckily, I was able to run really fast and jump super high, so I was able to outrun the fox and get away. The best thing I can do today is just survive. I better find a good place to hide for the night. I took a look around until I found a good spot. I dug into the side of the hill and hunkered down for the night. Maybe I can find all of my bunny friends in the morning. On day 2, I woke up and went to go look for my bunny friends. As I arrived back at the spawn point, I didn't see anyone around. Where could everyone have run off to? I wasn't sure where to start looking for them, but I had an idea. Maybe if I can build a really cool bunny house, they'll come back. If I was gonna build a cool bunny house, I needed some tools, so I headed off into the forest to get some supplies. After a while, I had gathered enough supplies to be able to build my first tools. I put as many tools together as I could, including a sword. With my new tools in hand, I headed into the mine to get some stone. As I was mining, I was suddenly attacked by a spider. Whoa, get back! I had to be really careful. If I took even 1 hit, I was done for. It's a good thing I had made myself a sword though, because with that, I was able to defeat him. Oh man, that was too close. I better get to work. On day 3, I got to work starting to build my new base. Since rabbits live underground, I thought it'd be cool to build out a bunch of tunnels underground. It was a lot of hard work, but soon, the base was all set up. Alright, the base is done, but I don't see any more bunnies. I better go look for them. I headed off into the forest, but I could hear someone up ahead. On top of a tree, I could see a little squirrel. Hey, what's going on? What are you doing up there?
I'm up here hiding from the big bad wolf. You better watch out too.
The big bad wolf? Oh man, he sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we stick together? It'll be safer.
I think that's a great idea.
On days 4 to 5, the squirrel and I headed into the forest to get some more materials. As we explored the forest, we came across some more friends. The first animal we saw was a raccoon. Hey, have you heard of the big bad wolf?
Yeah, that guy's a real jerk, but he's been leaving me alone for the most part. I don't know if I want to get involved. Sorry.
Well, I hope you change your mind. The squirrel and I kept going through the forest until we came across a bear and her cubs. Uh-oh, I hope that bear won't eat us. I took a deep breath and walked up to the bear. Hey, do you know the big bad wolf?
Yeah, but why would I care about that guy? He doesn't bug me and I don't bug him. Say, you're looking a little tasty.
Okay, well, thanks for telling me about it. Talk to you later. Bye. The squirrel and I got out of there. I didn't want to risk anything else wanting to hunt me. As we got deeper into the forest, we started to chop down some trees.
Hey you!
I turned around and looked up into the tree. A monkey was looking down at me. Yeah, what's up?
That's my tree. What do you think you're doing, chopping down my tree?
The monkey was mad, but I only needed a little bit of wood.
would. It didn't matter to him though, and he jumped down and charged.
You're gonna pay for this!
Uh-oh, if this monkey hit me, I was a goner. But just then, the squirrel jumped in and helped me out. Together, we were able to put up a good fight. The monkey wasn't gonna be able to hurt both of us. By working together, we were able to defeat him. Sorry, Mr. Monkey, I didn't want to fight you, but you left me with no choice. On day 6 through 8, the squirrel and I continued through the forest. We were feeling pretty good about ourselves. We had a couple of victories, and we were getting a lot of supplies. We'd even met a few of the other animals. As I kept wandering through the forest, though, I heard something scary up ahead. As we got closer, we saw the source of the noise. It was the fox, and he had a group of bunnies cornered.
You have nowhere to run, and now I'm going to eat you.
Oh no, I can't let him eat those other bunnies. But what am I supposed to do? I can't take him on by myself. That's when I remembered I wasn't by myself. I had my squirrel friend with me. Let's do this! The squirrel just started to charge. He didn't even wait for me. Wait, what are you doing?
Oh, a little appetizer.
The fox took one swing, and the squirrel was immediately defeated. Oh no, my friend!
Looks like there's another snack over there for me too.
The fox took one look at me, but I had to get out of there. I'm not gonna be his dinner today. I'm sorry, other bunnies, but you're on your own for this one. I ran as fast as I could, straight back to my burrow. I couldn't risk having him find out where I lived, or worse, eating me. I was just gonna have to help those other bunnies out another day. I feel bad about leaving all those bunnies behind, but what was I gonna do? I'm just not strong enough. On days 9 to 11, I was feeling bad about running away, but I wasn't strong enough to fight. As I ran through the forest, I came across an abandoned village. Oh look, a ton of carrots. I gathered up as many carrots as I could. There was even a bunch of wheat and pumpkins too. I decided this would be a good place to spend the night. In the middle of the night, I woke up to a strange sound outside. Oh no, there's a bunch of skeletons out there. I ran out of the house with my sword in hand. There was no way I was going to back down this time. I charged out of the house, swinging my sword. I'm not scared of you. I kept swinging until one by one, all of the skeletons were destroyed. Man, these fights are terrifying when you only have one heart, but I feel better now that I've won a fight. Even though I had won the fight, I was too scared to go back to bed, so I decided to spend the night looking through the rest of the village. I found some more food, as well as some other supplies. I even found a whole stash of iron. Awesome, now I can start making some iron gear. I ran back over to the crafting table and put together an iron chest plate and equipped it. On day 12, I emerged from my house in the village and headed back into the forest. I was running through the woods when I saw a carrot on the ground up ahead. Oh, what luck, a free carrot. As I continued through the forest, I saw there were even more carrots. I decided to keep picking them up. I was going to need as many as I could get. Just then, I picked up one of the carrots and suddenly fell through a trapdoor. Whoa! I landed inside a small room and there were several other rabbits looking at me. Hi guys, what's going on?
You're not the big bad wolf.
I turned around and saw a large elderly bunny looking down at me. No sir, I'm not. What's going on around here?
I see you're new around here. Let me explain. For years, the forest was a beautiful and peaceful place. All the animals were happy, living in harmony. The wolf would try to hunt us, but we could always get away. Then one day, something changed. The wolf had discovered some kind of magic, which he used to give himself a cloaking ability. Suddenly, we could no longer hide because we didn't know when he would attack. We have been in hiding ever since.
No, how can we stop him?
There is an ancient relic known as the Rad Glasses, crafted by our bunny ancestors. Its pieces have been scattered across the land, but if you bring them to me, I can craft them anew. They will allow you to see the wolf, even when he cloaks. Do you think you can help us?
Not very strong, but I'll do my best. On days 13 to 15, I had arrived back at my base and made a couple improvements to the inside. Then I went outside and started working on a farm and planted some of the carrots I'd collected. It wasn't much, but it was a place to call home. I needed to get some sand though, so I headed off to the desert to gather some. I managed to get a bunch of it when suddenly a group of rattlesnakes came slithering up behind me. Hey guys, can I help you? The rattlesnakes just stared at me, then they attacked. Hey, that's not very nice. Luckily their bite wasn't too bad because I still only had a heart. I was able to keep moving and I took them all out. Suddenly I felt a burst of energy and I grew into a bigger killer bunny. And look, now I have 5 hearts. I'm feeling way better already. On days 16 to 19, I returned back to the base and made a few adjustments now that I'd gotten a little bigger and stronger. Later, as I was harvesting some of my crops, I saw a squirrel walking up to the base.
Hey, I've been looking for you.
Hey there, what's up?
I saw you were with my sister when that fox attacked her. She seemed to trust you, so I want to help you too, for my sister.
I'll take all the help I can get, and I'm sorry for what happened. I'm much stronger now and won't be running away from anything. We then set off, making some more improvements to the base. It turned out the squirrel's name was Rocky, and he was happy to help. After we had finished upgrading parts of the base, he pulled me aside for a chat.
Thanks again for letting me help, Zozo. I had an idea for the base. I think we should build something that will make the other bunnies know that this is a safe place.
Oh, I know just what to make, but we're gonna need a lot of orange dye. We ran off into a flower field and got to work grabbing as many orange tulips as we could to make the dye. On days 20 to 22, we were heading back to our base when the fox popped out from around the corner.
Ah, the bunny that got away. I'm gonna get you this time.
You aren't hurting anyone this time. I jumped into battle and started swinging away at the fox. Rocky jumped into the fight too. With my new strength, the fox didn't stand a chance. We beat him easily. Nice going, Rocky. How did he find our base?
I don't know. The only thing I can think of is that he must have seen me and followed me here. Sorry about that.
That's okay. But it reminds me, we need to start looking for the parts to those special glasses. Do you have any ideas of where we could look?
I've got one idea, but before we get there, we're gonna need some serious upgrades first.
On days 23 to 26, I was deep underground looking for resources. Luckily for me, I was able to find a bunch of iron, as well as some coal. This is just what I needed. Now I can finish making my iron armor. I took some of the stone I had collected and used it to craft a furnace. Then I added the coal and iron to smelt myself some iron bars. Once the iron bars were complete, I used them to craft myself iron tools, including an iron sword. Then I used the rest to finish crafting my iron armor. Now I'm really powered up. I decided to keep exploring the cave when I suddenly ran into a group of zombies. Try and fight me now, you flesh heads. The zombies could pack a punch, but they were no match for my new gear. I swung my sword and was able to take them out. I kept going down the tunnel when a spider dropped down from the ceiling. Oh, gross. Spiders are disgusting. As the spider charged at me, I swung my sword. He managed to get a couple bites in, but he couldn't do much against my armor. Soon enough, it was defeated. I wonder what's going to be at the end of the tunnel. Up ahead, I could see something glowing in the distance. What could it be? I walked into a large open room and subscribe? Hey, it's not a bad idea. If you love going on these adventures as much as I do, I'd love for you to hit the button and the bell. That way, you'll never miss out. On days 27 to 31, Rocky and I headed into the woods to look for the first crafting item we'd need for the glasses. I could hear a noise up ahead when suddenly a wolf hopped up on some stone blocks, blocking our path.
Ooh, a delicious bunny. The big bad wolf isn't going to mind if I eat you myself.
Go on and hide, Rocky. I can take this guy. The wolf and I charged at each other. He was pretty strong, but so was I. He snarled and bit, getting some hits in. He even got me down to half a heart. But I knew I could win. Your bark is worse than your bite. I gave one more swing and took him out. As he disappeared, I saw he dropped some kind of special item. What's this? I picked it up and saw it was a fire rod. Oh, cool. I wonder what this will do. Later on, I was walking along the water when a crocodile popped out and attacked me. I swung my fire rod, immediately catching him on fire. Whoa, nothing like a well-roasted croc for dinner. The crocodile panicked and jumped back into the water. Yeah, you'll think twice about messing with me next time. On days 32 to 35, Rocky and I arrived in the Badlands. Rocky had told me he had seen something strange in the area and thought it would be worth checking it out. As we rounded the corner, I saw a weird sign. Let the water lift you up. What does that mean? There was a nearby lever, so I gave it a flick and nothing happened.
What happens when you jump in the water?
Rocky jumped into the water, but there was no effect. I don't think that's it. Let's try hitting one of these buttons. Rocky clicked on one of the buttons on the wall, and an arrow came flying out right over Rocky's head. Whoa, I don't think that's it. I guess I'll give this other one a try. I nervously reached forward and hit the button, and some redstone dust popped out.
Look, you can put the dust here to complete the circuit.
I walked over by Rocky and put down the redstone dust. Then, I flipped the switch. This time, a column of water came pouring down. That did the trick. I jumped into the column of water and swam to the very top. When I reached the top, there was a chest. Inside of the chest, there were some different brick blocks, as well as one glowstone. This isn't exactly what I was expecting.
Zozo, up here!
I followed Rocky up another flight of stairs and saw some glasses frames at the top. This is just what we were looking for. The first piece. The Elder Rabbit will be excited to see this. On days 36 to 39, Rocky and I returned back to the base. First things first, I needed to craft a new fence. I couldn't risk another attack by the big bad wolf gang, or worse, the wolf himself. By using some of the brick, I was able to make a nice perimeter fence. Once that was complete, Rocky and I worked together to make him his own place too. Thanks for all your help so far, Rocky. I think it'll be good for you to have your own place.
I'm happy to be here. Let's build a pen and get some sheep. That way we can work on the statue.
Good idea. Rocky and I headed into the forest and managed to find a herd of sheep. Using leads, we roped them up and led them back to their new pen. With the sheep all locked up, I then took some orange dye and got to work dyeing all of the sheep orange. Orange, you guys glad you're not dinner? I went ahead and sheared all of the sheep, then collected all of the orange dye. From there, Rocky and I headed off to find a good spot to build the statue. Once we found a suitable location, we got to work clearing a space, building up a base, then working on the statue itself. After a bit, the first part was complete. Nice job, Rocky. This is a good spot about to stop. As we were taking down the scaffolding, a group of parrots walked up to us.
Hey, you're Bunny. You must be against the big bad wolf then.
You'd be correct. What's up?
We've been on the run ever since the wolf started cloaking. Nowhere feels safe.
I know what you mean, but there's safety in numbers. You guys should come join us at our base.
That's just what we need. We'll go gather our things and then we'll meet you there.
I told them where to go, and they headed off. Back at the base, Rocky and I got to work building them their own house to stay. I couldn't believe the wolf was even hunting birds. We'd do our best to keep them safe. I started days 40 to 43 by putting in some paths throughout the base. The next morning, I got to work harvesting the carrots and planting some pumpkins. Then I filled the rest of the spots with carrots. We've got a lot of new friends starting to show up. I've got to be sure everyone is well fed. Just then, the parrots walked up and I finally got to show them the place I had built for them. They were really excited to have a safe place to rest. After they took a look around, their leader came to talk to me.
You're looking for the parts of the rad glasses, right? The ones that let you see the invisible wolf?
I am. Do you know something about their parts?
Only rumors. I've really only heard about one of the parts, that is. But I don't know if you're gonna love where you have to go to find it.
I'll do whatever it takes. On days 44 to 49, I was getting ready to leave my base for the new location. I think it'll be better for you to stay here, Rocky. I don't know if this will be the best place for a squirrel. Rocky understood and agreed to work on the base while I was gone. After a long journey, I finally arrived in the area the parrot had told me about. Oh man, it's freezing here. No wonder the parrot said I wouldn't like it. Just then, I stumbled across an abandoned igloo. This will be a great place to stop and rest. As I left the igloo though, I was suddenly attacked by a snow leopard. Whoa, where did you come from? The snow leopard was vicious. He had giant fangs and powerful claws. He must have set this camp up as a trap. I'll never let the wolf and his allies win. I swung with all my power and took him out. It's a good thing I upgraded all my armor before I left. Otherwise, I'd be rabbit stew. On days 50 to 53, I had finally made it out of the cold and arrived at the place the parrot had mentioned. As I walked up to the tower, I saw there were two wolves standing guard. Hey, can I come in?
No.
Well, that was a short conversation. I don't know why I even bothered asking. They're wolves. Of course they'll just attack me. This wolf was just a junior guard, so I finished him off easily. You're not getting in my way either. I turned and attacked the other guard too, who didn't put up much of a fight, and I defeated him in no time. All right, let's get that glasses part. I climbed to the top of the tower, but there was another wolf waiting for me. This one was stronger than the others. By using my fire rod though, I managed to light him on fire and eventually take him out, nearly losing my life in the process.
Hey there, can you help me out?
I took out my axe and started chopping away at the nearby cage. There was no part for the glasses, but there was a bunny trapped inside.
Thanks for breaking me out. Let me guess, you were looking for a piece of the glasses.
Yeah, I was. Do you know anything about it?
I was here looking for it too, but I guess it got moved to a dungeon far away from here. That's what I heard the henchmen saying anyway.
Shoot, that is in the complete opposite direction. Well, might as well stop at my base in the meantime. Feel free to join me there. The rabbit agreed, and we headed off for the base. On days 54 to 57, the bunny and I arrived back at the base, which was on fire. Oh no, what's going on? As I got closer, I could see that the base was being attacked by a pack of wolves. Standing outside the base, I could see the big bad wolf. He was giving orders to his men. The wolf gang headed into the base and rounded up all the parrots. They were taking them prisoner. I don't have the glasses yet, but I have to do something. I sprinted into the base, sword in hand. The wolves attacked. Get out of my home. We never did anything to you. One by one, I cut down all the wolves. Soon enough, the only one left was Mr. Big Bad. You're gonna pay for this. I charged at the big bad wolf, leaping into the air, when suddenly he disappeared. Oh, you coward. I'll find you. On days 58 to 62, I took a look around at all of the damage. I couldn't believe I didn't keep everyone safe. As I walked around, I could see that everyone was gone. That's when I heard a noise from under the table. Rocky, what are you doing under there?
Zozo, I was so scared, but this was all my fault. I told the wolves where the base was. He had captured my squirrel friend and said he would hurt him if I didn't tell him where to go.
Rocky, you should have told me. We could have rescued your friend together.
I know, I'm so sorry. In the end, he didn't let my friend go and just took away all of our new friends. I hope you can forgive me.
I felt bad for Rocky. I could tell he was sorry. It's okay. I know you just wanted to help your friend. We can figure it out together. In the meantime, though, we better go get some supplies to rebuild the base. From there, I headed into the mines and managed to find plenty of iron, as well as some gold and coal. I smelted down all of the iron and used it to make some iron bars. Then I headed out to the river and scooped up a bunch of clay. I then used the clay to make more bricks. At long last, I headed outside and replaced the fence with iron bars, while also repairing any other holes with the bricks. It took a while, but soon the defenses were complete. Those wolves are gonna have a heck of a time breaking in again. On day 63 to 66, I told the bunny and Rocky to hang back at the base while I headed out to the dungeon. This could be dangerous, and I didn't want to lose any more friends. The journey was a long one, and I passed through all kinds of different terrain. As I was passing over a mountain, I saw a wolf in the distance, just as it destroyed a baby elephant. It was the big bad wolf. What have you done? I charged at the wolf, but he disappeared again. What kind of monster would attack an innocent elephant? As I looked down, the elephant's mom came over the hill.
What have you done to my baby?
No, it wasn't me. It was the big bad wolf. The elephant didn't care, and she attacked. I took a few swings to keep her back as I tried to explain, but she wasn't listening. My only option was to run away as fast as I could. On days 67 to 70, I could see the entrance to the cave up ahead. It looked really dark and scary. This must be it. Who knows what's waiting for me inside? I entered the cave and soon found out. Waiting for me was a group of skeletons. Why are you guys so creepy? The skeletons swung their swords and shot their arrows as I jumped around, hitting them with my sword. They got some hits in, but I was able to take them all out. I headed deeper into the caves and saw a spawner. Let's just get rid of this. I can't fight these mobs off for forever. On day 71 to 74, I pushed further into the mines when I saw some diamonds. Oh, those would help me so much. I quickly put up a bridge to cross over when suddenly the wall exploded and a zombified piglin came bursting through. Whoa! I quickly pulled out my fire rod and lit him up. He lit on fire, but my fire rod broke. Ouch, he's so strong. I swung with my sword as my health dropped, finally taking him out. As he disappeared, he dropped something. I picked it up, a diamond hammer. This thing is powerful, and I'm getting it just in time too. Excited about my new weapon, I headed back over to the diamonds and mined them out, being careful not to drop them in the lava. With the diamonds in hand, I put down a crafting table and made myself a pair of diamond leggings to replace my iron ones. Maybe we can make it through here after all. On day 75 to 78, I had finally reached a big empty room. There was a chest on the other side. Hello? Looks like this place is deserted. I walked over to the chest when suddenly I heard a thump behind me. I turned around and saw a giant spider had dropped down from the ceiling. Oh, hey man, you mind if I grab what's in the chest and leave?
You wish, buddy boy. You're not getting out of here alive.
I thought you might say something like that. Just then, the spider leaped forward and attacked. I got hidden, but not before he started shooting his webs at me. Oh boy, this isn't going to be as easy as I was hoping.
Looks like it's time to get my very own lucky rabbit foot.
That's just a weird thing to say. The spider charged at me, but I was ready. I jumped out of the way, causing him to jump into the pool of lava. I'll keep my feet, thanks. Just then, I felt the energy surge through me, and I leveled up into a buff bunny man. Whoa, I have 10 hearts now too. I went over to the chest and opened it. Inside were the lenses to the rad glasses, along with a bunch of diamonds. I can't wait to see what the Elder Rabbit can do with these. On days 79 to 84, I arrived at the Elder Rabbit's house. Sir, I've got everything you need to remake the rad glasses.
Zozo, well done, well done. This is just what we needed.
The Elder Rabbit quickly turned to his enchanting table and assembled the glasses, imbuing them with special power. He turned and tossed them back to me.
Take these and take courage. The hope of all bunny kind rests with you now. We know you can do it.
Thank you. I'll give it everything I've got. I turned and left his house. Time to get ready for the final fight. On days 85 to 89, I arrived back at the base and saw the rabbit and Rocky had done a great job improving it. Nice job, you guys. This place looks amazing.
Thanks, Zozo. We had a lot more creatures come and join us, so we had to build them all a place to stay.
Aren't they scared?
Yes, but they believe in you and know this is the safest place for them to be.
I sure hope so. That reminds me, we better finish our special project. There could be more creatures out there. Rocky and I headed back out to our statue and got to work finishing it up. This carrot was going to be a beacon to all the animals in the area that this was a safe place. It didn't take long, and we were soon finished. Now let's go get prepped. We've got some wolf butt to kick. On days 90 to 94, I was back in the base, putting together some diamond armor. I used the diamonds I had found in the dungeon, as well as some additional ones Rocky had found in the cave. I better go check the chest too. Rocky said he had some stuff for me in there. I opened the chest and saw it was full of healing potions. I grabbed them all and added them to my inventory. I'm feeling pretty stacked. Let's go wolf hunting. On days 95 to 96, I ran across the land in the direction of the wolf's base. It wasn't too long until I hit a river. The wolf's base was supposed to be further downstream, so I chopped down a nearby tree and built myself a boat. As I paddled down the river, I soon entered a dense jungle. It wasn't too long until I came across my first wolf. Hey, leave that cat alone! I ran ashore and started swinging, saving the cat.
Thank you. I thought I was a goner for sure.
No problem. I'm just glad you're okay.
You're so nice. Here, follow me. I saw something I think you'll find useful.
Cat set off into the trees as I followed close behind. We soon reached a small stone building covered in cobwebs. I cut down the webs and opened the chest inside. A trident and a shield. You're right. These will help a ton. Thank you.
Happy to help. I owe you after all.
I invited the cat to stay at my base, to which he happily agreed. I decided to give the trident a test, sticking it into the nearby tree. This thing is awesome. It's definitely going to help in the fight. I headed back to my boat and kept rowing down the river. Suddenly, the crocodile from before popped out. This guy again. I thought I taught him a lesson the last time. The crocodile lunged at me, catching me in his jaws. Oh, let me go! I swung my sword as he kept trying to do damage to me. This guy was tough. Let's see how you like this. I took out my trident and threw it, spearing him into oblivion. Better luck next time, pal. On days 97 to 98, I was rowing down the river when I saw my stop up ahead. I jumped out of the boat and started climbing the mountain. The wolf's lair soon came into view. As I got closer, a couple of wolves attacked. Sorry guys, but you picked the wrong guy for a boss. By using my sword, trident, and shield, I managed to fend them off. I entered the mansion, and more wolves attacked. They were vicious, but they were no match for my new armor and weapons. One by one, I took them out. Let's see, where could this guy be? I'll check the basement. I headed down the stairs and saw a tarantula at the end of the hallway, who charged. What's with this guy and spiders? The tarantula managed to stick me with a stinger, which poisoned me. It was doing damage, so I had to be quick. Luckily, I was able to take him out as the poison wore off. Let's try upstairs instead. I headed to the second floor as a couple of wolf guards came charging at me. I could tell these guys thought they were cool, but they couldn't get past my shield. Guess they weren't the smartest couple of doggos. I managed to take them both out. I was rounding one of the corners when a monkey came running up to me. Hey you! Oh hey, wow, you sound just like me. That's because I am you, from the other video. Oh yeah, the video where I survived 100 days as a monkey. That's right. Yeah, I just wanted to stop by and tell people they should come watch my monkey adventure after they finish this one. I think they'll like it. I agree, that was a crazy adventure. Tell Chim Chim I say hi. I will. Good luck with the wolf. Thanks. Wow, what a nice guy. On day 99, I reached the top floor of the lair where the big bad wolf was sitting on his throne, waiting for me.
Well, 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 if it isn't the little bunny who cried wolf.
You think you're so strong, but you attack bunnies who can't see you. You're a coward.
Is that so? Now you're just making me angry, and I was already hungry. You won't like me when I'm hangry.
The wolf leaped forward and attacked. He was strong, but I was ready. He got a few bites in, but I landed some blows of my own. I could tell he wasn't expecting me to be so strong.
Let's see how you like this.
The wolf started summoning in some smaller wolves who I was able to easily outmaneuver and defeat. Then I hit the wolf with my sword, causing him to retreat. Still a coward, hiding behind others to fight for you, I see.
I'm not a coward. I'm just powerful. Enough games. This ends now.
Suddenly, the wolf disappeared and started to attack me. And now you're cloaking? You're just proving me right. The wolf reappeared on his throne.
Who cares? You'll be gone soon. No one can stop me when I use my powers.
I quickly grabbed my rad glasses and put them on. The wolf used his cloaking power again, but I could still see him.
What? How did you hit me?
Not so invisible after all, are you?
How dare you?
The wolf let out a flurry of attacks, which caught me off guard, nearly taking all of my health. Maybe I was being a little too cocky. He only had to hit me one more time, and I was done for.
Zozo!
I looked over and saw Rocky standing by the stairs.
Catch!
He threw a splash potion at me, which immediately restored all of my health.
No!
I pulled out my trident and threw it at the wolf, destroying him for good. Rocky, I can't believe you followed me here. I'm glad you did, though. You saved the day. But our work here isn't done yet. On day 100, I headed down into the basement and used my hammer to break the animals out of their cages. Be free, my friends. It's safe now. After I had broken all of the animals out, I stood by the door of the mansion as the creatures ran to freedom. Sometime later, I was back at my base, surrounded by all my new friends. Thanks for all of your help, and I'll catch you in my next adventure.